Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the podcast, Unapologetic Voices. I'm Thomas Tripp, joined by co-host and CEO.
Am I?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm CEO?
Yeah.
Kyle-Elio Torres!
I'm CEO, but with less power.
With less power.
Welcome back. Thanks for joining us.
I can end this right now.
Welcome back to Unapologetic Voices.
Stay unapologetic?
Stay unapologetic.
When did we come up with a theme song?
We're not homophobic.
Are we? I mean,
Not?
no, we're not.
Jesus. I don't know. Just a little tune to start off the show.
Okay. I like that. That's actually really funny. I didn't expect you to do that. That's why I was caught off
I
guard.
want a little bit of energy because I feel like I've been really tired when we do the podcast.
Yeah.
So I had a little nap. I packed up for my trip that I'm going on soon, and I just felt like, let's bring some energy. Let's bring some energy.
You
because
are going on vacation, so that's...
I am.
You have reason to have energy.
I'm taking a quick little trip to Virginia, and I'm going to go camping. No electricity, no nothing. Just going to shut down for a couple days, and I'm really excited.
So, are you going to West Virginia?
Mountain Mama?
Where the Mothman is?
Take me home. Probably not. No, I'm going like deep in the woods next to rivers and shit.
Gotcha.
I have no idea where I'm going. I just know that there's a destination.
Just up in the hills. You'll be in the trees.
In the trees, just like my ancestors.
Yeah. Okay.
They're in the trees! Shout out to the Vietnam flashbacks. So, Kyle, what happened in the bathroom that you were trying to tell me about earlier? Because I'm going to forget, and I want to hear the story.
Okay. So, this happened at work.
Mm-hmm.
So, just so that I can paint a mental picture for you guys, my office is right next to Thomas's office. So, I thought
We have offices.
Yeah. I thought of something funny to say to him. So I left my office, and as I'm walking to his office, I think of a question to ask him as well.
Mm-hmm.
So, I knock on his door, I go into his office, and as soon as I walked in, I was like, yeah, I forgot what I was trying to say to you.
Love it.
And,
That's the usual, by the way.
yeah, 100%. I did shit to him so much.
I didn't even react. I was like, got it.
He's just like, okay, whatever.
Yeah, no problem.
And then he just went right back to doing what he was doing. And then I was like, yeah, if I remember, I'll tell you. I don't remember, by the way.
No problem.
Not at all. That whole situation completely changed everything. So, after going in there, I really had to take a piss. So I left the office, your office, and then I started making my way to the bathrooms.
Yeah.
For some fucking reason, the bathroom that's right next to our office completely filled. All the stalls, all the fucking urinals. Yeah. All I had to do was pee, you know? But they were all full and there was like a line.
Oh, hell no.
And I'm like, whatever, I know where all the bathrooms are. I'm not gonna wait.
Nope, next one.
So then I walked over to the further one.
Right.
Right?
My favorite.
Right. That's the one I go to for everything.
I love the distance.
Yeah. And their water fountain's better.
Oh.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
It works a lot better.
Very smooth.
And it's colder usually.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That's an important detail.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%.
Shout out to Listeria. Go ahead.
What the hell is that?
It's that new, bacteria disease thing that's going around in a lot of, name brand grocery store foods.
All right.
There's a recall on a lot of shit. I asked Courtney before I started cooking dinner where she got everything from.
Some Mexican place, so
Yeah.
Probably dirty.
But that's stuff that isn't just naturally dirty.
Yeah.
Not, infected.
It was cheap though too.
Hey,
So
the cheaper the cleaner.
each patty, I paid
It's $5.54 for the whole thing.
yeah. So I paid less
You probably paid less than $1 for each one.
than
You
$1 for
did.
each one.
Yeah.
Because there was 6 of them.
Yeah.
So
87 cents?
Yeah, give or take
Each?
about 87 cents, which is a great deal.
Yeah.
They had all of their meat was on sale today. This is one of the days where they put it on sale. But we're side noting too much.
Yeah.
So let's bring it back.
I'm off by 30 cents, by the way.
Okay.
My bad.
You're off by 30 cents?
32 cents, yeah.
Gotcha.
So whatever that is, I'm not adding it
was
up
it
right now.
60 or something?
I don't know. I'm not doing math right now.
Okay, whatever. Nonetheless,
I'm really bad at math.
I go to that other bathroom, right? Mm-hmm. And I go in there, line, all stalls full, all urinals full.
Damn.
And there's people standing there, little kid just standing there waiting, and I'm like, fuck it, I'm going to International.
Okay.
Right? So I walk
Bad bathrooms.
Right.
Fucking hate those.
The bathrooms suck, but there was no international flight, so there was nobody there.
You're saying too much right now.
In my head.
You're saying flights, you're saying international. We got to cut those.
Oh, I ain't doing it.
All right.
But so what ends up happening,
You're saying too much right now. Okay.
so what ends up happening is I go down there to that bathroom.
Uh-huh.
And I go like as I walk into the bathroom, I stop,
Yeah.
and look inside, see all the stalls empty. I see one guy.
2 stalls. Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's two bathroom stalls for toilets,
Right.
and then 2 urinals.
Yeah.
No, 3 urinals.
It's 3 because there's one that's tucked.
There's one in that weird.
Which I kind of like.
Yeah, it's like that's like the rape hallway. you know?
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I feel unsafe whenever
Like
I go
when you
there.
go in there to use that one,
It's like in a weird hall.
Like,
yeah.
when it is full in there, there's always someone just standing there, like watching you while you pee.
Right, waiting.
Yeah. Even
like,
though
bro,
it's
get away from
normal, it's like, dog, come
I
on,
guess.
man. Just
Yeah.
give me a second.
Be on your phone.
Yeah.
Like, don't look at me. Yeah.
Don't leave me. But
Enjoy the show.
yeah. So as I start walking up, I'm like unzipping my pants.
Right.
You know, because I'm like, whatever. I start walking up, and as I walk up, the guy who's standing at the urinal starts projectile vomiting all over the place.
Oh my god, that happens way too often.
Right?
Yeah.
And he was just like,
Oh,
like
horrible.
all over.
Oh my
And
god.
it was just like,
This is why you're so
there,
excited.
water every, cause like I'm just right there. I got my dick in my hand. I'm
Yeah.
about to take a piss, and
Yeah.
I'm just like, I can do it real fast, you know. While he's just pissing,
Let it happen.
I mean, while he's doing his whole thing, I'm like, turbo jets go. And, you know, I just sprayed
To
that
push
thing.
it out, yeah.
Yeah. So then I'm like, all right. And then I see like the throw up on the ground slowly coming to me.
No.
And I'm like, I gotta go faster.
You're angling over.
Yeah. So then I piss, and then I like turn around, I go to wash my hands, and the guy's like, you know, he looks fucked up, right?
Yeah.
He's just like, oh, I'm so sorry. He just starts grabbing paper and starts wiping everything, and
For
I'm
sure.
like, I literally stop and I'm like, don't worry about it, man. I already took a piss. And then, and then I washed my hands and I left.
That's awesome.
But that was that whole situation.
That's my favorite thing to do is when something awkward happens or some, whatever, and you just hit him with a one-liner real quick and then you walk out. Yeah, I love that shit.
I don't know why, but I do that a lot.
Yeah.
Where I'll just say a random
I've seen you do it.
one-liner,
Hilarious.
and I just go with it for some reason.
I have another thing like that. This happened a couple days ago because this happens a lot. I don't know what it is about where we work. Like, just the exposure, I guess. But people, like, be throwing up all the time, like, in bathrooms and stuff.
Yeah.
Whenever I'm in a restroom, I'd say once a week someone throws up.
Yeah.
Like, I hear it. You know what I mean? Like, I hear the... You know what I mean? It's disgusting. So, there was a worker there, a cleaner. She's the manager, one of the managers of the cleaning crews. Not cleaning crews, I'm sorry. The cleaning of the floors, the areas.
Well, I think I've met one of them, but on the B's and C side.
Okay. Not there.
Okay.
She's strictly A's because her office is up by the elevator to the things.
Gotcha.
So, she's really nice. I see her all the time. We just say hello to each other because we've seen each other every day for 4 fucking years, right? Mm-hmm. One day, I was just walking by her. She was inspecting a trash can, and I thought she was kind of just inspecting it. And then she flipped her hair or her hat backwards and just started puking, just like randomly, and like straight face, like whatever. I was like, yeah, exactly. And like she would like look up and kind of just be like, and like get ready for the next one, And I went over her and I was like,
there's only so many ways you can look when throwing up.
yeah, you're either all in or you're like, just get it over with. She was just get it over with.
You either do the dog thing where you're
Oh, horrible. Yeah.
or you just
Yeah, just let it out. So she was doing that one.
Okay.
And I went over her and I kind of touched her shoulder. I'm like, you okay? Need anything? And she was like, nope, I'm good. And she vomited again. And I was like, yeah, man, breakfast sucks. And then I walked away. It wasn't that funny, but it was like in that moment I saw her go. Like she did a little like mid throw up, yeah.
a little half chuckle. Okay.
Yeah, I liked it a lot. What were we talking about a minute ago where you were like, say it for the podcast, bitch? Wasn't it like I was packing for my trip or something?
Yeah, you were packing for your trip.
Oh, I don't know. Should I talk about what I brought? I
Yeah,
overpacked
fuck yeah.
for sure.
You should overpack.
So here's my plan. I'm going with some of my family, and one of them is an experienced camper and ex-Navy Corps member, right? So,
right.
he and I have a good time whenever we go do anything. We went to Honolulu together, and we were hiking mountains and all kinds of
Okay,
shit,
so that's
right?
who you went to Hawaii with.
Yes, him.
That's
so,
cool.
He's cool. He's like one of my favorite uncles, and we
You
hardly
ever meet
see
that
each
old
other.
guy?
No. I'll talk about that in a second.
All right.
All right, so did I ever talk about that on the podcast?
No.
Okay, I'll talk about that in 2 seconds because I think about him often.
Yeah.
I could have had it all. So
You could have had.
all
it
right,
all.
so What I brought, and this goes alongside what we talked about before with my prepping shit, I already had. I kind of just threw my bag together. I definitely overpacked. But I'm not telling my family that I don't plan on hanging out with them. I'm gone. I'm in the fucking woods. I'm out. I'm disconnecting everything. My phone is constantly ringing and blowing up. Like on the drive here, I got calls from work. Mm-hmm. I got called by a shark, and I got called by the one who got injured today, the supervisor.
Yeah.
So, like, my phone's always constantly going off. I would have ignored
them all.
Right, but, you know, I'm nice. And it was a half-hour drive.
I wouldn't care.
You're so savage.
Fuck
and I get emails constantly, so I'm going to turn off my phone. I'm going to turn off everything. All disconnecting.
First and foremost, if I ain't on the clock, I ain't talking to you. That's
true. I like it how you do that, because I don't know, I'm too nice. And you're a savage. I remember you told our boss one time, you're like, I'm not going to answer my phone for you if I'm not on the clock. You said that like the first 5 weeks in?
Yeah.
Hilarious.
He said, how hard is it to answer a phone call when you're not here?
Hate the way he speaks.
And I literally said that to him. I was like, if I'm not on the clock, I've got no obligation. Unless you're paying the bill. Mm-hmm. That's how we're going to be. And he just like stopped talking.
Silent, yeah.
Yeah, he's like, well, what do I say to that?
You can't.
And then he also said the same thing. How hard is it to have your email on your phone? I was like, I have my personal email on my phone.
If you want to give me a work phone.
If you want to give me a work phone, I will happily put the work email on there.
Right.
And then if you give me after hour pay for use of that phone, I'll do it.
Yeah. Which, in all fairness, makes absolute sense.
Nope. Because if you're texting me, I'm on the clock at that moment.
Yeah, and your job does not require you to be off-site. So...
Well, technically...
you could.
My position, I work in both sides.
Sure.
Technically.
Yeah, technically you are correct.
But they only utilize me on one side.
So...
Even though Eagle has sent me to that side many times to just fuck around.
Which seems fun.
Yeah.
And I've only done it once with you.
So.
Yeah. So, I'm gone. I'm out. I'm turning everything off. Okay? Mm-hmm. I have packed a massive sleeping bag, a personal tent with a mosquito net. I've got a hammock with a mosquito net. I've got a cot so I don't sleep on the floor.
You're going to come back eating. I know it.
I'm really sensitive to mosquitoes. They come after me like a motherfucker. I think it's because I'm sweet. But, is that too gay?
I'm pretty lucky. Like, they don't
come for you?
They don't be hunting me.
Let's do a blood transfusion so they leave me the fuck alone.
Yeah,
and then they get after you.
I don't know what it is. My shit ain't good.
What's your blood type?
I don't know.
Me neither. So,
what the fuck you asked then?
I don't know. So.
I know Courtney's.
What is it?
I think it's like OB or something. She has like a very rare blood type.
Oh, one of those?
Yeah.
Universal donor?
Yeah, universal donor. So if I'm out down bleeding, she could save my life.
Take her out.
Yeah.
Take her with you.
Wait, take her out. Like, I need the blood.
Transfer the soul. So, I packed my hatchet shovel. I've got like all kinds of like quick medical aid stuff. I've got my firearm. I've got 3 knives, and I've got all kinds of shit. Oh, yeah. I have this. I did buy one thing. I've got this new battery pack that's solar powered.
Yep.
It's the best one on the market. I spent $180 on it.
Okay.
It's nice. And it's about the size of 2 phones put together.
Gotcha. It's that one that like flips out.
It looks like the one that's in your office, just a little bigger.
Gotcha.
And it does flip out. Okay. Yeah, it's really nice.
Well, the one in my office is meant to charge car batteries.
It's just exactly like that.
Gotcha.
Like the AMP, that was AMPH or whatever, the reading is like over, it's like, you know, like the max is usually like 4,000, 4,800. It's like 63 or 62,000 or whatever the fuck. You know what I mean? It's really nice.
I gotcha.
I'm really excited to use it.
I also told him to take my hammer, but he refused.
Yeah, I don't need your goddamn hammer.
That is a nice hammer.
Okay, it's a heavy duty hammer, but I don't need your fucking hammer.
It does a lot of work.
I'm only gone for a few days. I'm not going to build a Minecraft house.
Think about how many bodies you could hide using that.
Not many. It's a fucking... You know how many bodies I could create with that?
That's the word.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I get what you're putting down.
Yeah.
I'm picking it up. All right, so that's what's going on, and basically I am just going to disappear. I'm going to be like 300 yards away from them at all times until we do events together that I know we have planned in our our Google Docs.
Your obituary.
I'm gone. I also have a walkie-talkie because I know my uncle has a walkie-talkie. We could hit the same frequency.
Oh, you took it from work?
No. Funny you say that, but no. It's mine.
Okay.
Yeah, it had...
to be honest, you probably could have got away with it, too.
Bring it back. But I had an old friend a long time ago. It's both of ours, but they're like pre-military grade. You know what I mean? Like they're really nice. They're not quite military, but they're like we used it for security. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I did in fact steal it from work, allegedly.
Gotcha.
but not artwork.
I used to have one that was like a solid one that had like just as good as a distance as the ones that are at work.
Yeah.
The only reason the ones that at work have good distance is because we have an amplifier.
Yeah, a thing, yeah.
But mine itself had the ability to just go far as fuck.
Yeah.
Right? Yep. So, because it was like an army style.
Yeah, it connects to radio towers and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I used to use it and I would just change channels and fuck around and yell at people. Mm-hmm. And like, I remember one time I left it in my mom's car and I put it in the back of it on like the top part on a hot day.
Oh.
Bitch melted.
Oh, that sucks.
Like all of it just went like a puddle.
Ooh.
And then all you saw was like the metal
like the
pieces.
Terminator middle, yeah. like the exoskeleton.
I'm like, damn, I'll probably never get another one like this. And I never did.
Why would you?
I don't know.
You won't need it till you need it.
The only reason I had it is because my dad was like in the army in Cuba.
Yeah.
And that's where it came from.
Nice.
So it was like a Cuban radio.
Oh, yeah, a Cuban radio.
Yeah.
Hit them unknown frequencies.
Dude, for real.
Hell yeah. Hawaii. Funny you say that. So at our job a few years ago, I helped a young man of the age of 93. He required extra help, and I was there for him for a little while for everything. Because this guy he looked like he was on his deathbed. He also looked like a cancer patient. Like he had yellow skin, you know? Really nice guy. Like really nice. Like a little too nice. A little too nice. And it got to the point where I figured out, oh, he likes boys. Like, not men, like, he likes boys. Yeah. You know what I mean?
And you looked like a boy.
I look like a boy, yeah. So he, so at the end of helping him to Honolulu, his destination, since we're on that track.
Sure.
He gave me a very nice handwritten letter. And actually, he didn't even give it to me.
Just scribbling it.
I left him, and he gave it to somebody else, who gave it to somebody else who gave that to me.
Yeah.
Like, he made sure that message got to me, right?
Yep.
So it's a handwritten letter. It's about a page long, and I have a picture of it on my phone from years ago that says, Mr. Thomas, I really enjoyed your company, blah, blah, blah. And it's like a lot of compliments. And at the bottom, it says, listen, if you're ever in Hawaii, there's a place for you at my house. I want you to come and stay with me. Here's my address, my phone number, and my email. Let me know when you're coming, and I'll take care of you. And I was like, bro, first of all, just so you know, he was rich.
Yeah, he was stacked.
Stacked. Like, I mean, fat stacked, okay? He was wearing New Balances. I know he was rich, okay?
Yeah.
Bro, this guy
like,
was
he may have looked like he was dying, but he was flexing.
He was flexing, dude.
He's like, these are my final years. Yeah. I got
paper. He had, like, an old watch on. Like, we're talking, like, pre-Omega. Like, it was, like, 1910 kind of watch. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like, this guy was rolling it. Yeah, I don't know what he does, but he's like, I own, like, 2 houses in Hawaii in the nicest spots, you know, outside of Honolulu. Like,
come swim with some turtles.
Come hang out with me. Swim with my turtle with the long neck. Yeah.
He's
so
got his own turtle.
Yeah. Yeah. You see what I'm saying?
Turtle.
His turtle. Yeah. So like, you know, play peek out of the shell. So when I did go to Hawaii with my family, I did in fact send him an email because it was probably a year later, like to the day. I sent him an email and I was like, hey, you know, I'm coming to Hawaii, like whatever. Because I'm going to be honest with you, I would not. That's how you win at life these days. Like, that's how bad the economy's gotten. That's how bad life's gotten. Everybody my age, at least, is losing momentum, is losing drive to do anything because the world is ending. You know what I mean? The economy's ending for Americans. War is starting. I'm not going to get political in a second. But, like, you know, my whole life has been driven towards creating entertainment for people and, you know, acting and creating films and, you know, just the arts. That's like my shindig. But I feel like I've wasted my college years. I wasted my life dedicating myself to a craft that will no longer be important when the world shuts down or will never get me anywhere because the market, the talent is, there's just a billion people better than you at everything, right?
That's a fair statement.
Yes. So it's not that I have no hope and it's not that I don't try. You've seen I've done some stuff recently.
You do many things.
Right. But it's sad. So I was like, I'm going to hop on this guy's dick if that means I'll never have to work for the rest of my life. You know what I mean? I was like, I will blow this old man. Like, at this point, I'll do it. And Never talked back to me.
Yeah,
never hit me back.
Up.
And I think it's because he passed away.
He probably died.
He definitely probably died over there.
And his kids got his fortune instead of you.
I don't think he had kids.
The states got his fortune.
You know what he did have? He had a cat.
His cat got the fortune.
I think his cat got everything. I'm one of those people too, I swear to God.
Well, you leave everything to your cat, and then the person, whoever is taking care of your cat, has to keep your cat alive.
There you go.
Because
they have your assets.
It's within the will that if the cat is killed any way other than natural, then,
that's forfeiture.
They forfeit everything and it goes to the states.
I feel like I heard a story one time about a fashion designer that did that.
A lot of people do that.
Yeah, like a really famous person. It's
crazy how many people say, I don't like any of you fuckers, but I love my pet. Whoever takes care of my pet the best can have my shit. That's
actually pretty smart and a test of courage. So that sucks that how you're in my will, you have nothing to do with my cat. Now, I'm going to be honest, I haven't put my cat down for anything, except for like, I would like these list of people to be in charge of the care for Hercules, right?
Right.
I
don't get why I'm in your will, though.
You're my best buddy.
Okay, I'll take it.
That's a good, like, little clip for Discord. Why am I in your will? You're my best buddy. And then like a little gay music plays.
Play some music.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like the Titanic theme. Like.
Side note, I'm in 3 other people's wills. All right.
Okay. Yeah. Me too. You know whose will I might still be in?
Whose?
I think my ex-girlfriend's. I had an ex-girlfriend who I was with for a long time. This was during high school and college. Like we were together for a while. Mm-hmm. Her parents loved me so much, as do most, that they threw me in their will.
Gotcha.
Yeah, like
That's cool.
Yeah, it is cool. And I think I'm still in it, to be honest with you, because we're still Facebook friends to this day, and they still, like, sort of keep in contact with me.
Maybe 4 wills.
Are you trying to flex?
No. So if I had to really think about it. Uh-huh. If I'm officially in yours, right?
Yeah, right.
So that's 1.
You are officially documented.
And then I'm 100% in my mom's will. Uh-huh. Right? Technically, I was in my dad's will, too, but whatever. My mom got everything, so she's divvying it. Right? So... I'm in my mom's will. I'm in Courtney's family's will too, like her grandparents, which I didn't expect, but they added me to it.
I think you told me that,
and I think it's cool. But whatever, I'll never ask them for anything. I never wanted anything from them, so that's really cool that they did give it to me. But you know whose will I am in? John's.
No shit.
Yeah,
that's actually very expected.
I also have the power to kill him.
Yes, I do know that.
Yeah.
And without hesitation,
so
we're pulling that plug.
Yeah. I told him, I was like, dude, the day you go into a coma, your mom's not getting in my way. I'm pulling the plug.
And he knows that.
And he knows it. I told him. Because I'm like...
And in case you hesitate, because he's your buddy...
I won't.
I'm going to be on your shoulder. I'm going to be like, do it.
Remember, he ate your chicken sandwich, which I haven't explained.
That motherfucker. Story. Yeah. Tell that real quick before I jump into something else.
Okay, so I've been holding this one back.
That fucking bitch.
Because
I remember. You were mad.
I hate John so much. And you guys know I tell all these bad stories about John, and sometimes I throw in a nice one about him that I love about him. Whatever. Rarely. With this one, he can go fuck himself, because I don't give a fuck what he does. He fucking owes me a chicken sandwich. So... there's this Asian place that I went to with Johnny where it was like a bakery, right? And they had all these fucking really cool, like different snacks and stuff. And some of their stuff was seasonal, right? Like they weren't planning to make any more of it. They were just selling it out and then that's it, right? So I go there and I'm like, cool, let me get like 6 pork buns.
Yeah, nice.
Some other fucking buns that had different shit. Like one of them had like bean paste in it.
Yeah.
The other one had like they had pork, chicken, and then some sort of like I think it was duck or something.
Okay.
Some other poultry.
Yeah.
Right. Mystery meat.
Poultry.
Yeah.
Look at you.
Fuck you. I know words. But
this guy's a fucking idiot. Go ahead.
Long story short, they experimented and made a fried chicken sandwich.
Oh yeah.
And it looked so fucking good. I watched them prep it and make it.
Yeah.
And they were like, this is gonna be like the last one of the day, right? And I was like, right here. Mine.
Yep.
Hand it over.
Yeah.
Because, like, they were just making them, whatever, right? So they made, like, 2 or 3 of them. I only got one for myself.
Yep.
And then...
Well.
What? Yeah. And so then I get home. So let me paint a mental image just for the moment. During this time, John was living in my house because I helped him get a job at my job because he
was struggling. He was homeless.
He was not homeless. He was technically struggling. He either got fired or he quit. Right?
He had a job before that?
Yeah, he had a job before that.
I didn't know that.
Apparently, the manager said something to him and he got offended. So he was like, whatever, I'll just quit, blah, blah, blah. And the manager was like, go ahead, I don't give a fuck. And then John just never came back.
Oh, okay.
So,
VQ, baby.
Whatever. Mm-hmm. So it was either a firing or he just quit. Because the guy literally just said, I don't need you if you don't want to be here, And I'm going to be honest, now that I've worked with John... The guy, like, everything John said about his manager made his manager sound like a horrible person. I don't think his manager was a horrible person. I think his manager was just fed up with John's bullshit.
All right, there it is.
Just saying, because sometimes John isn't all there.
I'm on it.
Because sometimes Shark gives him gives him the short end of the stick really hard.
Sure.
But most of the time it's warranted.
Yeah.
Majority of the time it is, but now it's at the point where he doesn't give him any time. He'll just be like, leave, get the fuck out of here. Mm-hmm. We don't want to see you. Because...
I get it.
Yeah. But whatever.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming that's probably what happened at his old job, right? Something like that. But he quit that place, and then he was like off for like a month and a half or 2, right? And he wasn't making any money, and he was paying rent to his mom, right? So he's like, I literally don't have money to be here. So what should I do? I was like, come work with me. Come live at my house for a little bit. And then we'll see if we can get you a place on your own.
For a little bit.
Right. Which ended up being a fucking year and a half, give or take, until I threw him out. Like, he really didn't want to leave.
I remember.
When I told him it's time to go. But nonetheless, he was in the house. He used to live in the attic. We used to call him John Frank.
Holy shit. Now we're getting into the genocide jokes. I like it.
But we used to call him John Frank. We'd leave him up there in the attic.
Fuck.
We helped him. We got him a bed and everything. Like, it wasn't a bad room. The only problem is upstairs there's not really any walls. It's just open floor.
Yeah.
So we kind of like made makeshift walls, which kind of sucks, but I really wanted to build an actual upstairs up there, but I didn't have the time to do it. So we essentially made like just fake walls, and how it is, it's just up there right now.
I get you.
But so he had his own area, and then I come home. So like after buying all that shit, I bought like fucking 6 of everything, right? Except the fucking chicken sandwich. And I didn't eat the chicken sandwich because me and Johnny went to like a restaurant afterwards, right?
Right.
We stopped there, we picked up a bunch of food, then we went and we ate, right?
Yeah.
We ate at his restaurant. I have a photo of it for his restaurant. It's like one of the main photos where like Jayu's eating and then there's like a bunch of food and then I had like a bowl of rice. Mm-hmm. Good food. But what ended up happening was I get home, I fucking see Courtney in the kitchen, and I'm like, hey, I'm just stopping by to drop off all these groceries because they need to be refrigerated. And I'm like, hey, really quick, just so that you understand, I got pork buns, I got chicken buns, I got fucking, mystery meat bun, whatever that fucking, it was some other chicken. But I got these specifically for the house. And I'm explaining this to her. I'm like, these are specifically for the house. Now, I took it out of the bag. This fried chicken sandwich is mine. Don't eat it. I'm coming back for this shit. And I'm like, okay, cool. I go back and I do the shit with Johnny. We eat, we do whatever, blah, blah, blah. I come back home super fucking late. And I hop on my computer, I start playing video games, and it's like, I don't know, like 3 or 4 in the morning.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, my stomach's grumbling. I need something. And I'm like, I'm going to eat my chicken sandwich.
Yeah.
It's going to be so fucking good.
You've been thinking about it all day.
I've been thinking about it all day. Yeah. So then I go into the kitchen. I open up the bag and I look inside. I'm like, okay, I don't see it in here. Maybe Courtney put it in the fridge, like I said. Right? Go in the fridge. I don't see it at all.
Now the panic sets in.
And I'm like, no, there's no panic. Just immediate. What the fuck is going on? Did Courtney eat my fucking sandwich?
Immediately.
After I said, don't eat my fucking sandwich? Mm-hmm. And I'm like, pissed. Like, I immediately get mad. And then I'm like, whatever. I'm gonna let it slide. I grabbed a fucking pork bun, right?
For sure.
I'm like, if it's Courtney, I can accept it.
Yeah, we'll talk about it in the morning.
Right.
Right.
And I'll still yell.
Yeah.
Because it was mine.
Right.
I said don't do it. Right.
But you're not going to yell now. 4:30.
Right. It's 4:30. I'm like, fuck it. I fucking come in here. I eat it. I watch TV. Well, not in here because before I never had this. I just had it on here. I watched TV on my computer. And then afterwards I went to bed. I wake up the next day. And, I woke up late. So, like, it was like around 12, maybe 1.
Yeah.
This is my weekend days. So just so you understand, I'm not some lazy bum. Fully.
It's fucking lazy. Go ahead.
But, so what ends up happening is I wake up and I literally, first thing is I rise like a fucking vampire. Did you eat my chicken sandwich? And like immediately I'm fucking like yelling at Courtney. I'm like, did you eat my fucking chicken sandwich? Where the fuck did it go?
Yeah.
And she's like, I didn't eat your chicken sandwich.
Oh,
I don't know
the
what
plot thickens.
I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. And I'm like yelling at her, right? John hears that I'm up and all that, right?
Yeah.
So he comes downstairs.
Right.
And he's just like listening. And I'm like, well, where the fuck is it? Because I didn't see it in the fridge. I didn't see it in the bag.
Yeah.
What's going on? And then John comes weaseling out of the fucking door. And he's like, I ate it. And I'm like, did Courtney not tell you to fucking like... okay, so my exact words were, John, why the fuck did you eat it?
Yeah.
And he's like... His exact words were, oh, well, when you got here the other day, you said that, that you bought all that stuff for the house and that anyone could eat it. And I was like, okay, John. So you heard all of that conversation? He's like, yeah, I heard the whole thing. I was like, okay. So did you hear the part about me saying, don't eat my fucking chicken sandwich? And he's like, no, why would I hear that? I was like, fuck you. You're a bitch-made motherfucker. I was cussing him out. I'm like, because I haven't been back there.
Yeah.
Right? I haven't gone back there since I went with Johnny that one time. I don't even know where the fuck it is.
You'll never know what it tastes like.
And I'll never know what it tastes like. They don't make it anymore. So, from what I know.
Right.
Right? So, I didn't get the chicken sandwich. John ate it, and he fucking played stupid. Like, I didn't say all of that stuff. Because in my head, I was like, okay, he didn't hear that conversation, right?
Right, he wasn't around for it.
Maybe he walked out there without Courtney seeing him.
And he
just thought it was okay, and he picked the best looking fucking thing out of everything. Everything's little fucking buns.
Yeah.
And he saw the chicken sandwich and was like, I guess I'll just have that.
You gave him the benefit of the doubt.
I gave him the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah.
But then the motherfucker said he was standing behind this door listening to the whole fucking story, right?
Son of a bitch.
And then he still fucking ate my chicken sandwich. I'm so pissed.
You're so mad.
I'm so mad right now.
Oh my god.
You don't know how much it fucking pisses me off.
Just like the cereal, the McDonald's.
Oh my god!
Yeah,
did I tell the story about the cereal?
No, you didn't, and I love that story. I haven't heard it in 2 years.
God,
I'm so excited.
I fucking hate John.
Relive it.
Why are you doing this to me? I'm so angry.
Relive
right
it,
now.
baby. Relive
I got a smile on my face, but it's not a real smile.
Yeah.
Oh fuck!
What's your favorite cereal that you got? What was that?
Fruity Pebbles.
All right.
Is my favorite cereal.
Talk about the Fruity Pebbles.
He touched. So, yeah, okay, I'm gonna stay on that. Okay. I was gonna side note, but I don't want to side note.
No, don't side note. I want this anger train to keep going.
Fuck. Okay. So, again, John moved into my house, and it was like his earlier days when he just moved in. Right? But John has been around me for years. So he knows I have certain rules that I specifically follow 100%, right? And they're things that I say to people very often. So during that time, I only eat one type of cereal. I rarely eat cereal because I don't like eating cereal. So like I'm very picky, right? Yeah. So like I'll eat Cookie Crisp, I'll eat fucking Fruity Pebbles, I'll eat
not sponsors.
Not sponsors at all. I'll eat Captain Crunch, sure. You know. What the fuck is Trix? I'll eat Trix. Dude, I like Trix. Trix are fucking good. Dude, during those times when I was little, I used to smash that shit, dog.
Not a sponsor.
Not a sponsor. But, you know, like those were like my main ones, and then I really like the Cinnamon Toast Crunch now, because like that's more of a newer...
You're trailing off. I need anger.
Okay, right. Yeah. So there's a rule in my house that if I buy cereal, and I buy my favorite cereal, which is Fruity Pebbles, I don't want anybody to eat it. Right. And I specifically tell everyone, don't eat this. Like I also have a
You need a labeler.
Fucking John. No, it's not that. Everybody knows what's mine. Yeah. Right? Yeah. So John also has touched my cookies. And I love cookies.
I remember the cookies.
And that pisses me off too. So
Fruity Pebbles.
Fruity Pebbles. So what ended up happening was John comes to the house. He sees me pour a thing of Fruity Pebbles in the morning right before work. Right? He's just watching me. And he sees me pour it. And then I close it up. And I put it back where I got it. And then I I pour my milk, blah, blah, blah. I go grab a spoon. I'm prepping my shit, right? And I put my bowl right there on the fucking counter, where the dog fence is. And I'm like, okay. And I watch John go grab the box of cereal, come walk back inside, grab a bowl, and I'm watching him and I'm like, hey John, what are you doing? Yeah. And he's like, what?
I'm making a bowl of cereal.
I'm making a bowl of cereal. And I'm like, there's 6 other cereals there. Yeah. And he's like, yeah, but I like Fruity Pebbles and I want Fruity Pebbles. And I was like, did you buy those Fruity Pebbles? And he's like, no, they're just here at the house. And I'm like, put my Fruity Pebbles back. You didn't spend a single dollar on them. They're mine. I'm the only one that eats Fruity Pebbles in this fucking house.
You're missing one part of the story that I distinctly remember.
I haven't got there yet.
Okay.
I haven't got there yet.
Okay.
So he gets pissed and he's looking at me like I'm a fucking asshole, right? Yeah. So he goes and he fucking takes the fucking box and he puts it back. Right? And he listens, right? Because he's like, that's fair, whatever. And I start to walk away because, after touching something, I don't know what I touched, but I had, dog hair on my hands or something, and I wanted to wash my hands. Yeah. Right? So I start walking away, and I go to the bathroom, right? Right. And as I walk into the bathroom, I get this feeling in my gut.
This ominous feeling?
And I get this hankering that something's not right in the universe.
What the fuck is a hankering?
Exactly.
All right.
And so what
Tomatoes, onions.
Yeah. So what ends up happening is I just get that feeling, right? And I turn back around and I walk back and I'm like, and John, don't fucking touch. And I see this motherfucker with a spoon scooping my fucking cereal, about to take a bite. And I'm like, you put that fucking spoon down right now. Jesus. And he's just like, and then I literally jump over the fucking dog fence, slap the shit out of his hand, and I throw my fucking cereal away. And I'm like, listen here, motherfucker, this is my cereal. Don't fucking touch it. I don't have many rules in this house. I let you eat every single fucking thing in this house. And whenever I fucking tell you, don't eat a specific fucking thing, you always go for that fucking thing. Yeah. No matter what it is.
Give it to him.
And it fucking drives me nuts. Yeah. And I get super fucking angry. And that's what he fucking does with my cookies. So, I leave my cookies on the counter, right? They used to sit on that fucking table over there. Right. Every single fucking time. I'd come home. I'd get a fucking cup of milk. I'd open the thing up. I'd get 2 cookies. Yep. There's 30 of them bitches in there, right?
Yeah.
But I only ever eat 2 cookies because I'm very selective on how many cookies I'm allowed to eat.
You're so autistic.
Yes.
Gotta watch your calorie count.
I'm not even watching. I just don't like
You just like the texture. You like holding just in your hand.
I don't like eating a lot of cookies.
Okay.
I eat a certain number and then I'm like, that's the sweet spot. I'm good. I'm fulfilled. You gotta have that sweet spot. So it's either, it depends on the day, because sometimes it's 2, sometimes it's 3.
Oh, you mix it up a little?
Right.
A little exotic?
But I never go past 3.
Okay.
So, just so it be known. I never eat 1, and I never go past 3.
Let it be known.
Let it be known.
Okay.
But cookies are one of my favorite, like, dessert treats.
I'm going for 4 of them bitches. Okay.
They're in the back. I have them hiding. So...
You know what we have to do.
So, John would come home, and he would... Like, I wouldn't eat the cookies, right?
Yeah.
So, like, I would come home, I'd eat 2 cookies, boom, and then I wouldn't touch them for, like, an entire week.
Okay.
Right? Because I had my fill of the cookies.
Okay.
I don't feel the need to eat sugar.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
So my cookie jar kept running out.
Yeah.
And it was getting lower and lower. And I'm like, so who's eating my cookies? And I asked Courtney, are you eating my fucking cookies? What the fuck is going on? Because if she eats them, I'm not going to say shit.
Yeah.
Fuck it. You've lived in this house long enough to know these are mine. Don't fucking touch them. Keep in mind, she never touches them.
Yeah.
So she knows not to touch my fucking cookies.
Here you go again, giving John the benefit of the doubt.
I do. I always give John the benefit of the doubt.
And see where it gets you in life.
Because John is someone I love.
Yeah.
So John gets the benefit of me not targeting him.
And there it is.
Right?
He was the enemy the whole time.
So I fucking left, and then I was like, the next time we went to the store to get those cookies, I told John, I was like, John, he's like, what's up? I was like, you see that box of cookies over there? Go get it. And then he went and got it, and I was like, you're buying me those. And he's like, why do I have to buy these for you? And I was like, John, you've been eating my fucking cookies every day, haven't you?
Yeah, get them.
And he's like, well, I'd have like maybe 1 or 2. And I'm like, remember, those are mine. Mm-hmm. I've only ever told John 3 times what not to touch.
Yeah.
In this fucking house when it comes to my food. And each time he has fucking taken them, he has done whatever he can to fucking eat them.
He's broken all the
whenever
wheels.
I'm not around looking.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Does it every fucking time. And he's done it one time where like he was right in my face, grabbed it and just ate it with such confidence. And I'm just looking at him, watching him eat it.
Yeah.
And you know, I'm not saying anything because in my head I'm like, he's buying me like at least 3 of these bitches. Like,
yeah.
I'm not letting it slide.
Right.
Like, he owes me interest on these fucking cookies.
There it is.
That's the end of it.
Yep.
So...
Real estate cookies.
Yeah. So I told him, I was like, if you're going to be eating my cookies, you're going to be buying me fucking cookies and then getting your own so that you don't fucking eat mine anymore. And, you know, whatever. He'd never buy cookies for himself. Mm-hmm. He just mooched. Whatever. But that's what he fucking would do all the fucking time. Eat my fucking cookies. Eat my fucking cereal. And then, there was one time he bought Fruity Pebbles. Right?
Okay.
So he bought Fruity Pebbles, and every single day I ate his Fruity Pebbles.
Savage.
Because he never wanted to open the box, right?
Right.
Because I asked him, I was like, hey man, when are you going to open the box? And he's like, I don't want to eat them right now. I just want, like, I own them. Those are mine. I'm going to eat them when I have the time.
Yeah.
Because he was doing he was pulling a bit.
Yeah, yeah.
Right? He was pulling my bit.
Yeah.
Where...
I kind of like it.
So, like, because a bag of Fruity Pebbles could last me, like, 4 months.
Sure.
For no reason.
That's too long, but sure.
Right, I know. But it's just, I don't eat it enough to, like, I don't eat cereal enough to be, like...
I gotcha.
You know.
Yeah.
Whatever.
I know what you're saying.
Yeah, and then I keep it in a dry place, so it's not like it's getting fucking soggy or something. It's a dried food. I was about to say fruit. But fucking John, as soon as he bought that fucking cereal, I opened the bottom of the box.
Oh, God.
Took the thing out, opened it, dumped half the... Like, I got such a big bowl, And I ate that bitch during the night, every night.
Jesus.
Before going to bed until both bags, because he bought the 2-pack bags, the family size.
Okay, gotcha.
So I fucked those up, you know? And then I put them back in, fucking glued the bottom of the box.
You did? That's actually pretty funny.
I was petty.
That's funny.
And I put it back. And then I asked him every single day, when are you going to open that box so I can get a bite in there? And all that. Now I ask him like...
Now it's your game.
Now I'm egging him on.
Right.
And then I just remember how upset he was.
Yes.
When he grabbed the box, felt it, and was like, did a rat fucking eat this? What happened? And then he opens it, and both bags are clean, empty.
That's awesome.
You know, the box wasn't eaten or anything.
Right.
It was me.
That's awesome.
I ate his shit.
That's beautiful.
And, yeah. So, I fucking robbed him of his cereal. It was a very good thing.
That's awesome.
But I still haven't forgiven him about the chicken sandwich. And he offered to buy me a sandwich for an entire year. Right?
Wow.
So, like, once a week, he would buy me a sandwich.
You can't afford that.
I don't care if you can or not.
Yeah.
I looked him dead in his eyes and I was like, go fuck yourself. I will never let this chicken sandwich
It's also a very specific and possibly the only one of its kind sandwich.
Yeah.
It's gone.
It's gone.
Can you describe the sandwich for the viewers? What was in it? What was on it?
So...
Was it Korean fried chicken?
Yeah.
Like the good shit?
Yeah. Like Korean fried chicken.
Yeah.
Batter, everything.
Yeah.
It was fluffy. Like, it felt good. Even the fucking bun that it was in, like, it didn't feel like the bun got soggy after having it for a bit of time, right?
Perfect bread.
Right. It was solid bread.
We're talking half bagettes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
Legit. They just sliced the top off, and then they put it on. They layered it. They had, it had tomato, and then as well it had, well, it would have got a little bit soggy, but whatever. I like soggy sandwiches.
Ew.
I know. You like, it's a thing. About me. I like that. And it had,
You're a freak.
What?
You're gross.
Fuck you.
Have you ever seen this guy eat a fucking...
What's the nastiest thing you've ever eaten? Like,
that's rough. Like, alive or dead?
So... I guess that doesn't matter.
Okay.
So that's a different term.
I don't know.
So let's say this.
Okay.
Let's say that it's actual food wise, right?
Okay. I'm glad you set that boundary.
So not just some random animal you picked up off the ground and just...
Well, I told you about that one time in Mexico.
Sure. I'll say I remember.
Okay. So...
I remember when I was really little, I was really hungry, but I wanted a sandwich.
Okay.
And there was no bread.
Where is this going?
So...
I'm scared.
I didn't have any bread. So my mom brought home chocolate cake. So I sliced the chocolate cake thin.
Okay.
And I took it.
Yeah.
And I put mayonnaise, mustard, and ketchup on it.
Wow.
And then I took all the sandwich meat and slapped it on there.
Whoa, this is a story.
Yeah. And then I figured, because I was eating chocolate cake with the combination of turning it into a sandwich, that I would make that I would also get, a cup of milk. So I was just like eating a chocolate.
That's a wild
sandwich.
Combination.
Yeah, and then I drank milk
with meat too.
Yeah, it was meat, cheese, everything.
That's a wild
like a normal
combo.
sandwich. So the thing is, my dad would buy a specific amount of like meat, right? Like he'd buy like ham.
Can you say specific for me?
Specific.
Okay, go ahead.
He would buy ham.
Twice in the podcast you said it wrong, so I just wanted to...
He'd buy salami.
Make sure you're okay. You having a stroke?
And I love salami. Salami's so fucking good.
Yeah, you're gay.
And he would buy bologna. He would buy...
Gabagool!
He'd buy turkey, and then like...
Is it a hit?
Then like, not shredded chicken, but like, sliced chicken, like thin sliced.
Okay.
Where it's like still kind of loose, but it's like a whole ass chicken that they just rotisserie style slice.
Love that.
And he would buy that all the time, and I would just take all of that shit. And I would do double of everything.
Yeah, so you're insane.
Huh?
For the chocolate thing. But innovation-wise, beautiful.
I also remember I did that a second time. And
I can't believe you put mayonnaise on it.
We ran out of milk, so I used orange juice. And that was, to me,
You're disgusting. That's when you ruined the whole thing.
Orange juice does not go well with chocolate
No,
cake.
It doesn't.
Just
oh
so
my God, you're horrible. That's really nasty.
That was one of the, like, it's not, I feel that's, like, texture-wise and, like, the mixture-wise, it's the nastiest thing that I've done.
Okay.
But I've, like, eaten some, like, real nasty shit.
Yeah, that makes sense. Now I see what you're saying.
But that's, like, just a combination of shit that I just decided to do. Yeah. Right? And it turns out to be good or bad.
I can't think off the top of my head of the nastiest food. I've had like, insects and shit.
Yeah, but bugs or whatever. Like, so most bugs literally just taste like peanuts because they don't have too much flavor unless they're squishy. Comparison. Because if they have like sustenance inside them, then because like ants are literally just sugar.
That's a very good point. You're right.
You know, because I've eaten ants before.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like I remember one time I was in Cuba. I just went to go visit my dad at the cemetery. Mm-hmm. The one who killed himself when I was young, right? Not Andres. Yeah. So we went to go visit his grave, and then the guy the groundskeeper. Apparently, my mom's really good friends with him, right? So whenever we visit, he always invites us to his house, and we hang out for a little bit, and he like gets us water and snacks and shit. Well, he gave us cake, and literally the cake was infested with ants. Nice. And it was all over them, and I was just like, do I really want to eat this? First and foremost, I think cake from Cuba tastes like dog shit. I think it's disgusting. And it's not because it is disgusting. It's because they use a certain...
sugar, flour?
No, it's just eggs, butter, filling. Okay. The filling that they use, and they don't use it for all of them. It's just that filling to me is disgusting on cake. Okay. I don't know why, and I don't know the name of the filling. That's why I'm not saying it.
I gotcha.
But to me, it is the most disgusting thing because like that filling sounds good with like crackers. Okay. Ew. If that makes sense.
That makes sense.
Like dry, salty crackers.
I know what you're saying.
It would taste it's a dip. Really fucking good.
I got what you're saying.
Yeah. Yeah. But they put it on cake. Gross. And then it's like, what the fuck is going on? Yeah. And it's perfect.
Says the guy that had orange juice chocolate cake, meat, mayonnaise, and whatever the fuck else was on your sandwich. Yes. You're disgusting.
Well, I was always one of those kids who would go up to like the soda machines and just the whole thing.
That's why you have brain damage.
What? You would never do that?
No. So you ate the ants on the cake.
Oh, yeah. So, like, I didn't want to be disrespectful to the guy. Sure. Because he was so nice and he always takes care of us.
Did you blow a couple off?
And he takes care of my dad's grave, right?
Yeah.
Even though I don't give a shit about him, you know? Like, it's still the thought, hey, he takes care of my father's grave. Yeah. Whatever. So I'm very respectful to the people, right? So as soon as he handed it to me, I saw all the ants on it, and I was just like, hum.
It's gotta happen.
You know? And I just ate.
Crunchy?
Well, whatever, you know?
You just went for it.
I didn't care.
How was the cake?
I hated it.
All right.
Well, plus, because, you know, I already don't like cake, period. Yeah. Like, there's only certain cakes that I eat. Cheesecake and tres leches cake. There you go. But... other than that, I don't like cake at all.
Those are both my least favorite cakes. Go ahead.
I'm glad. Yeah. Wait, I thought you liked cheesecake.
No, I like the cheesecake you made one time. I fucking
Courtney
hate cheesecake.
made that.
That's why Courtney and I are friends.
Okay.
That and Twilight.
And besides that, just so that you know, the way that Courtney makes those cheesecakes sucks ass, and I'm mad every time she makes them like that.
You better be careful. She's gonna run in here.
And she knows, because I let her know.
I thought it was good.
I know you did.
Both of them. She made 2.
I know.
I thought they were really good.
And you were mistaken.
When I was a kid,
yes,
7th grade, specifically 7th grade, I remember this. I had really weird antics. This is like during the time when, like, you know, I was really shunned out by both parents, so I was kind of just like doing my own thing all the time with no regard for anything.
How old again?
13.
Okay.
12, 13. So that's 7th grade, right? So
yeah, give or take.
I distinctly remember every morning before school, I would make the specific instant ramen. When I say specific, you know how there's cup instant ramen?
Yes.
By Ichiro or whatever the fuck?
Sure.
There's the bag version with the packet inside.
That's the ones I like.
So I used to love those, right? Okay. Very easy to make.
Not anymore?
This is what happened.
Or you still love them?
Shut the fuck up. So I kept eating them every morning before school. This is like 6 a.m., 5 a.m., right?
Gotcha.
I would wake up early and I want to be specific on this.
Protein, baby.
I would eat ramen, and if I had time, I would jerk off. I would try to jerk off at least, because I don't think I really started knowing how to do it until later. Not at the same time, dick ass. It was either before or after. But I had that taste in my mouth like throughout the whole day, because it was like after I brushed my teeth. You know what I mean? Like I'd brush my teeth and then eat. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it was when I grew up when I learned you should probably eat before you brush your teeth, so then your teeth are clean. So anyways, I would have it 5 days a week, right? Every morning. And I just have that taste embedded in my system, because for like a year I did that. Even when I wasn't going to school, so I think I did it almost every day. I had instant ramen, okay? There was one day, I don't know what happened.
How would you cook it?
I don't remember.
Okay.
It would not be stovetop, though.
As a kid, I did it a specific way. I'll explain that later. Keep going.
Like throw an egg in there or something?
No, keep going.
So, I don't remember how I would make it. Oh, microwave. I think I was one of those kids. I know that's sketchy.
Okay.
Because nowadays I'm either kettle or stovetop.
That's fine.
But I think I did it with a microwave for some reason. Anyways, so for some reason something happened to me. I threw up while eating the ramen into the ramen. And I kind of thought it was like a hiccup. So I kept eating it until I realized. And when I realized, I threw up again, and this time a lot. I threw up all of it into the bowl, and then I didn't go to school that day. But forever, I will remember eating throw up. Like it was the first bite. I ate it and swallowed it, and I was like, oh, like I threw up again.
So, you just reminded me of like some...
I wasn't done.
I know, but I just want to throw this out.
Right at the punchline.
Some really, like, technically it'd be really...
He's still going! Go ahead.
Bad child abuse.
Okay.
But I'll leave it at that.
With ramen?
Doesn't that... No, not with ramen, but the throwing up thing. I'll explain later.
That hit your...
Keep going.
That hit your brain?
Yeah, keep going.
I lost it.
The punchline?
I lost all the momentum.
Well, your punchline would have sucked anyway.
I'm one of those people, though, if I were to throw up, especially as a kid, and I was eating something, like a favorite food,
yeah.
I can no longer eat it for the rest of my life. It took me a long time to get back into peanut butter, which I love.
I don't
because
like peanut butter
when I was
peanut butter's
a kid,
disgusting.
I used to have peanut butter and jelly sandwiches for lunch every day. Yep. Maybe like I was 5 years old.
Gotcha.
I threw up one time while eating it, and I could not stand peanut butter and jelly until I was probably 19 or 20. And I tried it throughout that time. I couldn't do it without almost getting it.
Yeah, but now you eat fucking like bananas and fucking peanut butter jelly sandwich all the time.
Every day. Love
whatever.
It. Yeah.
I see you do it all the time.
It's my go-to protein breakfast.
I think it's one of the most disgusting things in the fucking world whenever I see you eating it.
Dude, toasted bread. Listen to this. Toasted bread, honey, local honey, specifically, organic peanut butter, bananas. Best breakfast ever.
I'm with you on the bananas.
Doesn't beat a full breakfast with eggs and, whatever.
Yeah.
Eggs, bacon, spam, rice, whatever the fuck you want to put in it. That's a very Asian breakfast I just threw out there.
Sure.
But
I just don't like peanut butter.
I know you don't.
It's not me.
It's the texture.
No, it's the flavor.
Flavor?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't like peanut butter.
So what abusive fucking story with throwing up do you have?
So the thing is, this is something I wanted to talk about before because you're always telling me all these abuse stories from your parents.
I've told you like 2.
Right. But you've told me some off the podcast.
Sure, yeah.
Right? So you've told me all these like abuse stories, and I'm like, that doesn't sound like abuse. And then I think about what happened to me in my
white privilege abuse.
And then I think about what happened to me in my childhood that makes me think your abuse wasn't abuse. Right?
Yeah.
Because I'm like, it just sounded like they just didn't want to hang out with you at that moment. Big fucking deal. Like, right? But when you told me that you were eating ramen, oh, by the way, before I go into this, the way that I would eat my ramen,
okay,
the exact same packets, the chicken flavor or whatever.
I'm glad you're bouncing back to this. Okay.
I really wanted to get that out
there. To this day, cannot eat them. I can eat the instant cup, but not that one specifically. Go.
Gotcha. Because I didn't want to forget, right?
Yeah.
So what I would do is I would get a bowl, I would fill it with water.
Yeah.
And then like I would get the ramen, take it, smash it like grind it, right?
Okay.
And then I would pour that into
To
the
a
water.
powder or to like a crack?
To like cracked up into like small pieces.
Gotcha.
Right?
Yeah.
It's no longer strong, long noodles. It's just little chunks of just random bits and pieces.
I'm with you.
Some might be long, some might be really small. Right? So I would just grind it up.
Dr. Seuss me right now. Go ahead.
Fuck you. I'd grind it up. And then
You hit me with the some really long, some really small. You'll never know as long as you keep growing tall. Like, I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Look, it's not what I meant, but whatever. So what ended up happening was I would throw that in the microwave. I'd let it go. And then pretty much most of the liquid would kind of dissolve and get absorbed by the noodles.
Absorbed.
That's what I said. So... And then I would take the packet of flavor or whatever, sprinkle it on, mix it up, right? And then put it in for like another minute.
This is in prison shit
for
right
like
here.
the rest of the water to evaporate.
Okay.
Because I didn't want any of the water.
No soup?
No broth.
That's what the ramen's for.
I don't like soup. I've never liked soup.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
So
I don't like soup.
I've never liked soup.
That's actually like a really good like t-shirt idea. It's just your face. I don't like soup.
So that's what happened, right?
Yeah.
So like that's how I would make it because I didn't like the soup aspect. And then I would just eat it and it would just, slurp it down, just
Yeah.
But that's how I would do that.
I gotcha.
Right. That was how I would cook it.
Abuse.
And I always thought it was weird, but because no one else would do it that way. Okay, so
Growing up. Abuse.
Yeah, I didn't forget. So, long story short, when I was young, my dad killed himself, and I ended up getting a new father. He was my stepfather, but he raised me since the age of 4, so I consider him my real father. His name was Andres. I love him till this day. In the very beginning, I fucking hated him. I did not like him one bit, right? First and foremost, he was this gangbanger thug who somehow fell into my mom's life, and my mom rode with it, right? He was making really good money doing whatever shady shit he was doing during that time. He did end up turning his life around later, but I'm not going to explain all of his business. But one time he told my mom, I am going to cook a special dinner for the family because he wanted to come and like spend time with everybody, right? And he
Did you ruin it?
He had the goodness in his heart to do this.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
He came to the house, he was like ready for it. This was right after like we had a house fire and stuff, right? So like my brother burned down the house that we originally lived at. I'll explain that story.
Great.
Yeah, I'll explain that story later, right?
Okay.
There's just so much that happens.
Jesus.
Dude, my childhood is fucking wild, right? So, I can also explain why I'm partially deaf, but...
I know that story.
Yeah.
Okay.
Fair enough. But, so what ends up happening is he comes to the house, he starts cooking, everybody's doing their own thing, I'm doing my own thing. During that time, I didn't actually have a bedroom, because... the house burned down. We were in so my aunt gave us.
What the fuck are you saying? Were you in a garage? What?
No, my aunt gave us her house that she originally was living at, and then she started living at her restaurant. So I don't know if you've ever been to Leo's house, but he has.
No, I've never been to Leo's house.
Okay, so we started calling the place the Ghetto Mansion because it is a giant place, right? But whatever. They moved out of there, they moved in their restaurant, and they let us stay there, right? Which was really good on them. They didn't have to do that. They pretty much gave their house up for us, right? Shout out to them. But what ended up happening was, after like a few weeks or two staying there, I lived the Harry Potter life, so my room was underneath the stairs. It was like a legit.
That's awesome.
So just so that you understand, it was like a legit
broom closet.
Technically, yeah.
Yeah.
So I had like a little, like not a bed, but like a mattress.
You're the boy who lived.
I had a mattress underneath the stairs.
Okay.
And then there was like a light in there, so I had a light. And like there was like little shelves that we put up. We made it into
This is amazing. I didn't know this about you.
We made it into a room.
Yeah.
Right? And then my sister got her own full bedroom, and then my brother got his own full bedroom, and then my mom had their own full bedroom. And then I slept in between that little thing underneath the stairs / in the living room because I'd watch TV all night, you know, and then I'd sleep on the couch. But back and forth. So I never really had a room during those times. But Andres came there and he cooked us a dinner. We didn't know what the fuck it was. We never had it before. And I just remember my brother and sister. So we came to the table. He's like, everybody to the table. We're going to have a good time eating. I'm a master chef. Dude, he used to love saying that he was a master chef and everything. Like, he took real pride in his cooking. Yeah. And till this day, he would always say that shit. And in my head, I'm like, yep, master chef, even though I know you never went to culinary school at all. Right? Long story short, he cooked liver. Okay. And liver has a special texture that if you've had it before, you just you bite it and it just falls apart. Yeah. And it either melts or it crumbles. Yeah. And
it's like fleshy, like I don't know how to describe it. Like Legos. That doesn't make sense.
I would have agreed.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah.
So
if I took a Rubik's Cube and it was made out of like a tongue,
biting into it.
Yeah, it would like pop apart. Yeah, I know what you're saying.
But it's hard to explain it, but I know if you've had it before, you guys will understand the texture and like whatever, right? Right. No, there's nothing on your shoe. Oh, okay. You just picked up your foot, so I immediately looked that way. Gotcha. So what ended up happening was he cooked it, and immediately, like, he had rice, onions, and then the meat. So he cuts it all up. He gives Jamaica a piece. He gives me a piece. He gives Mikael a piece. And we're all sitting there. And my brother, he's cutting it, takes a bite, whatever, right? He had a face on him like, oh, it's not that good, but I'll fucking eat it.
Yeah, don't say shit.
Right. Right. Me and my sister cut it, took a bite, immediately threw up on the plate.
Oh, fuck. At the same time?
At the same time. Hilarious. There was no hesitation.
Wow.
And we didn't like throw up all over the plate. Like we threw up on like a little piece.
Gotcha.
Right? And my mom wasn't home at the time.
Okay, so it's just the four of you.
So it was just the four of us. And he immediately got pissed.
Oh, fuck.
And he slammed his hand on the table and he's like, what the fuck are you doing? Blah, blah, blah. Like he used to cuss us out, right? Like it didn't matter. Like he got so offended and we were like, we can't eat this. It's disgusting. You know, like we're telling him. Yeah. And he's like, you can't get up from this fucking seat until you eat all of your food.
Oh, Jesus.
Right?
Yeah.
So me and my sister cut it again. Eat some more. Throw up again.
Oh my God.
On the table. And then he's just pissed. So he's like, keep fucking eating.
Wow.
And
that's child abuse.
We're sitting there crying.
Yeah.
Just throwing up. And fucking, I remember my mom coming home and being like, what the fuck is even going on?
Did you just sit at the table covered in throw up?
Yeah. It could because we stopped, like we just couldn't eat anymore. So we just stayed sitting at the fucking chair.
Oh, just reeking.
Yeah. Just like vomiting all over the fucking place.
Oh my God.
Him just sitting there watching us, just pissed. My mom comes in. I just remember, like, it wasn't that long. Like, she was probably out somewhere, and she's like, I'm on my way home now, probably, right? Yeah. Because, you know, my brother just said, just eating like nothing.
Jesus.
Because my brother was always one of them nasty motherfuckers who could just eat anything, right? I became one of those later.
You grew into it.
But I wasn't there yet. Mm-hmm. But yeah, he forced us to eat, and like, dude, that like a dormant memory. When you said you threw up on your plate, I'm like, I've done that, you know?
God.
But yeah, So my mom came home. What the fuck's going on? And then he explained how he cooked liver for them, or for us. And my mom was like, why the fuck would you feed them liver? Like, that is because even she understood that liver's disgusting, right? And she's like, my family doesn't eat liver. Never cook liver again in this house,
right?
You know? And, you know, that wasn't a red flag to break up with him or anything. No, that was just it was a learning process.
Just another stepping stone.
You know, just another stepping stone. And then, you know, I got sent back to my fucking little under the fucking stairs room. And then my sister got sent to her room, and we weren't allowed to eat anything else because he was pissed. And then, you know, my mom had to clean up all the table and clean everything.
Oh, your poor mom.
Yeah.
But that's funny.
That dude.
That's some.
When I look back at it,
fucked up. Yeah.
I'm like, dude, that was funny as fuck.
Yeah.
But then I'm like, that's abuse.
That's child endangerment.
Whenever you like tell me all your stupid stories, I'm like,
one time I got my Xbox taken away.
one time you got your Xbox taken away? Well, I got my shit beat for a week. Like, they got fucked up just for coming out of my room. Like, but no, like, just random shit my dad would do.
Yeah.
And, you know, to this day, I love him. There's nothing but respect and love for who he was and everything that he did to raise me.
Yeah.
Even the day he threw me out of my house, right?
Yeah.
Like, I forgave it, and then I came home, and it was all right.
Yeah.
Right? Even though I got thrown out for bullshit. My sister was the one who did the fucking problem, and I got thrown out for it, and I was hurt. Not because my sister fucked it up for us, but because he didn't just throw my sister out.
Yeah.
He threw me out, too.
Right.
That's what hurt me. Right?
Yeah.
But, you know, he said, come back.
There it is.
I came back. But yeah, no. So many just like random times where like I remember one time, this was when I lived at my old house, and he stayed the night one night. You know, probably just to bang my mom,
okay.
Right? Whatever.
Jesus.
They were dating, right?
Yeah.
So he came over, he stayed the night, and I was in my sister's room because at the time we shared a room, and we shared bunk beds, and I was on the top bunk. And the thing is, I had a nightlight, right?
Okay.
But the nightlight broke or something. Well, the thing is, I was on the top bunk, and I couldn't climb down because I couldn't see the stairs, and it was too dark to come down. But the nightlight used to be there because I'd wake up randomly, right? Just to go use the bathroom, get a drink of water, then go back to bed, right? So I just remember him coming downstairs because I'm sitting in the fucking thing crying, saying, can someone please help me? I can't get down. I remember like pleading to the gods, someone come help me, because I was like this close to pissing myself. Yeah. Right? I remember him coming in the room saying, shut the fuck up, I got work in the morning, and bitch slapping me.
Oh my God.
And like him just saying, go to fucking bed, right? Yeah. And then like I immediately laid back down, pissed myself, you know, just straight back to sleep. Gotta do it, you know? Wow. And then I just remember doing that, and then fucking like that's one of like my core memories. Like, Jesus. Just that happening, and then like one time I ruined a vacation, and like
as one does.
Yeah. So like I was a little kid. I don't remember exactly what happened, but I got upset and I threw a fit. Yeah. Right? And my dad, he was like, if you keep acting like this, we're leaving right now. We're not going to fucking stay here, and you're going to be acting like this bullshit. Yeah. He's like, I'm not catering to you. This is my vacation. If you ruin it, you get your ass beat. Yeah. And I'm like, whatever. I didn't give a fuck. I was crying. I couldn't stop. I tried, right? I remember in my head that I tried my best to stop crying. Yeah. But my outer self couldn't do it, right? And I just remember we went back home. It was like a 4-hour drive or something that we did, right? We went out, had fun-ish, and then I threw a temper tantrum, and he got pissed and was like, we're going home. Took us home. And then my mom was like, you ruined our vacation, so it's time for you to learn how to spell vacation. And she pulled out a belt And she started beating the shit out of me.
Oh my God.
Like, you know? So she like bent me over and she's just like, I'm going to teach you. And then she spelled each fucking letter and like beat the shit out of me.
Wow.
And then like I had like bruises like really bad, right?
Yeah.
And like to where like it was hard for me like to sit down and shit.
I feel that.
Like hard fucking bruises. Shout out to my mom. And so what ended up happening was I went to school like a day or so later, and it was like I could barely like sit down properly. So like I was always like doing this or like moving over and doing this. And she's like, I remember my teacher asking me, what's wrong? And I'm like, I was roughhousing with my brother, and like we were playing catch, and he like hit me really hard in the back with a baseball. And I had like a real bad bruise on there. Because that's what my mom trained me to say.
Oh, yeah.
She trained me, guys.
Don't tell the innocents.
Yes. So like, because, you know, she explained it. She's like, now after I beat your ass, this is what you're going to tell people.
Yeah.
You know, and then they're like, well, my brother's like 6 or 8 years older than me.
Yeah.
Give or take. So like, it would make sense. Oh, roughhousing with your older brother got a little too intense. You got bruised up. He's probably fine.
Yeah.
Right? Sure. And like that's like my mom would beat the fuck out of me. Andres would beat the fuck out of me. Sometimes it was unwarranted. Majority of the time, I deserved every fucking beating I got.
Well, I'm glad you know.
Right.
Yeah.
I understood.
Yeah.
I wasn't the best kid in the world, but I had to get love from somewhere. I had to go out and adventure for it because I came home to the beatings. I just remember like all these like crazy times where like I would just do something and I'm like, this is where I get my ass beat. Like I know it's coming. But I'm still doing it, you know? And I would still go and I'd do something stupid.
Did you ever try to avoid it by like pretending you were asleep or something?
Yeah.
I did it one time.
Let me tell you.
My dad did not give a fuck.
Yeah.
There was one time, I forgot what I did. It was something bad where like I think I lied at school or something. My dad was one of my teachers.
Okay.
He was a teacher at the school I was going to. Yeah, on the ride home, I've tried to do the thing. I was like, I'm going to fall asleep. Maybe he won't spank me when we get home. And like he couldn't move me. He couldn't do anything. I was dead, right? Uh-huh. So he carried me. He set me down gently in the bed. Didn't pull down my pants, nothing. But I heard the sound. Whap! Like hard as fuck. Ah! And I remember this beating specifically because it was really bad. Like he hit me probably like 9 times.
Oh.
And then he took my favorite blanket from what...
I didn't put it
Are you fucking kidding me?
I didn't put it to my face.
We're not on Survival Island, just drinking like a normal
I just didn't I didn't put it to my face when I tilted it, so it just poured out on
For the audio, Kyle just openly chugged a bottle of water and spilled something on himself. I don't even remember what the fuck I was talking about, getting distracted by you. Ugh. So, that sounded refreshing. Water is not a sponsor. So, he took my favorite blankie. I was too old to have a blankie at this point.
I got it from Sam's Club.
I was probably like 6, maybe 7.
Not sponsored.
But not a sponsor, but he took it and like ripped it in front of my face and stuff. He was really mad. I don't remember what it was. Yeah. I was upset for days.
That was your abuse?
Chill out. Alright, so I want to talk about my balls real quick.
Oh, go ahead.
Before I forget.
Yeah. I remember you telling me that you wanted to talk about your balls.
Just because I think it's a funny story.
Gotcha.
So, after becoming a proud parent, I got a vasectomy.
Gotcha.
Okay? Because I don't want to ruin any more lives. So
That's fair. How is your kid?
Dead. So I got a vasectomy. No, so I got a vasectomy. And, you know, I wasn't aware that there were too many side effects besides like normal like bruising and maybe a little swelling, like whatever, you know what I mean? Like the usual stuff. Okay? Let me tell you, hold the fuck on. So let me tell you about the fear of man, okay? When one ball is swelling to the size of a baseball. Do you remember the bump in your hand from the other day?
Yeah.
Twice the size.
Gotcha.
My nuts, dude. Okay? I was in a lot of pain and I could not walk. I like literally, you know how like people who have some sort of hip displacement or they're raised on horses where they walk wide?
Yes.
Weird.
I always wonder, like,
how does that happen?
How does that happen?
Yeah, and I've noticed a lot of people who...
Like, is it just, like, some form of, like, a car accident style kind of thing?
Right.
Or,
like, what happened?
like,
yeah.
Yeah, but what...
Like, did your pelvis shatter and, like, that's the only way you can walk? Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah.
But I see it a lot. I see people walk like that.
Like, it happens, like...
I thought it was
looks like normal walking.
Yeah.
You know who also walks funny?
It doesn't look normal, huh?
Rima.
Whale. So,
Is that her code name?
no, codename is Piggy.
Really?
And I'll say it right now.
Oh, I like that.
I've nicknamed everybody.
Okay.
Yep.
I didn't know that it was Piggy.
Yeah. I'm on it. And she's aware of it, too.
Oh, okay.
Someone told her. So,
That's funny.
basically, that's so fucked up. So, anyways,
Why?
I don't know. What was I saying? Okay, so I couldn't walk, basically. I was wide stepping, and, like, I could hardly sit. Like, it was bad, and I was scared for my life. So I went to the emergency room, right? And she's, like, deep in you right now. She's just staring at you. Actually, she's looking at me, maybe. So, I went to the emergency room, and they were like, okay, this is a normal side effect. We do see it sometimes where we basically just have to drain your ball. And I was like, what the fuck does that mean? And they're like, well, with the build-up, basically, like, build-up, but it wasn't jizz. It was fucking, you know, it was, like, cyst stuff. It was, like, literally, like, in your hand.
Oh, so, like, pus. Well, there was no pus in my hand. It was just blood.
Not like pus, like a cyst. So, yeah, maybe pus. Anyways, they have to put a tube in you.
Okay.
Okay, and let me tell you what this tube entitles. Spikes? No, but you know how when you get like a, I don't know, like a urethra, you get like a little tube with a camera?
Yeah.
Urethra. When you get like a scan? You know, like you've seen it before. When people have to get tubes put in their vein, you've had this. When you get your shit in your leg or whatever, right? Like a tube to go up there for something.
So when I had my surgery, it was to close my hand.
Right.
So
didn't they put a tube in you or something?
So they went in through my thigh.
Yeah.
And they put a camera.
How thick was that tube camera?
Like needle thin.
Okay, 3 times that size in my balls. 3 times. Let me tell you the next step of that plan.
Were you awake the whole time?
Yes.
Did they sedate you at all?
They numbed me.
Okay.
Okay, so like
so you know when they did all this,
over.
I was not numbed.
I remember that. Fire and death.
It was very painful.
Okay, so I did feel a lot of pressure, but not too much pain when that happened.
Gotcha.
This is where the pain comes in, and this is where the fucking story takes place. You have to remove the tube to drain the fluid yourself at home.
What?
Yeah.
You just have to go home.
I was single at the time. So do you want to know how this happened? I went to the toilet.
You just squeezed it?
To spread my legs with my swollen sack and pull this tube that was sticking out of me out.
Uh-huh.
The size of the tube, I cannot even fucking begin to tell you how long it is. I had to, inch by inch, biting my lip and screaming, playing music so my neighbors don't hear me. I was in my like first apartment at this time.
Oh man, you must have been sweating.
Bro, I was like handful length. 1, 2, 3, 4, and when you pull it out, bro, oh my god, just disgusting. It popped like a zit.
Oh my god.
Into the toilet. It was the most disgusting thing ever, and then you just bandage it and pray to fucking God you don't get an infection.
It doesn't happen again?
I mean, yeah, they said it's not supposed to happen again. It's like a one-time deal. But like, it was insane. And then you take a little antibiotics and you put ointment on it.
Gotcha.
Bro, worst pain of my fucking life. Worth it.
All right.
I made a lot of bad decisions after that.
You made a lot of bad decisions after that.
I met a lot of people. But
a lot of dudes, a lot of women.
Little dudes, a lot of women.
Little dudes? Like not very large?
One was tall. One was short.
I'm talking about length, but all right.
All pretty medium.
All right.
Yeah. Except for the first one.
Except for the first one? Was it big or like, did you mean tiny?
No, it was big.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was like...
Oh, monstrous or something?
No, but it was...
Is it like...
What the fuck are you about to compare it to?
Is it like Caleb with his horse dick?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Right.
That's awesome.
Not monstrous, but like, you know.
Right.
Yeah.
It's just a big boy.
Black don't crack.
It just hangs out.
You know what I'm saying?
Just so that you guys know, there's this guy that we work with. His name's Caleb. He's this really tall, handsome-looking guy for the most part. And I used to talk to his girlfriend all the time, and she told me that he has a horse wiener. And I was like...
Are you talking about Ashley?
No.
Oh, another one?
At the time, he was dating Alexis.
Oh, yeah. I forgot that was a thing.
Yeah. I don't think it lasted that long, but...
No.
I just remember they were like on and off for a bit.
Yeah, they were just banging.
Yeah.
Good for them.
Right. And then she told me that he has a horse wiener. And I don't
miss Alexis, but I do miss Alexis's statements.
Yes.
She talked Alexis a lot of funny shit.
Funny as fuck.
She was funny.
She would just say the most dumbest shit all the time.
But you could not hang out with her.
I could.
No, man. She was in that group in the movie theater.
Oh, yeah.
Causing issues. That's a big pet peeve. That's a big red flag for me.
One of the things that, like, bothered me a lot was that, like, we would all go out and then, like, we would hang out, have fun. Some of the people we would... Because, you know, you only went to, like, one of the events.
Right.
She would get, like...
But you guys would go bowling and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I hate bowling. But I would go just to have fun.
You hate bowling?
Yeah, I don't like bowling at all.
Why? Stop doing what you're doing.
Sorry, I had to cough, but I couldn't do it. I think it's really boring. It's a little boring. I don't find any enjoyment in it. I just enjoy the time I spend with the people.
Okay, yeah.
So I rather just sit there and joke around with you guys than play the game itself.
I liked when we were playing that intense game of Uno while bowling.
Right.
I'm not going to lie to you, that was a lot of fun.
Just so you know, I wasn't playing bowling at all there. I was just playing Uno.
Oh, I guess you're right.
That's why I brought the Uno. Just so that, you know, so I would have something to do.
Yeah.
Because I think there was one other person who didn't want to play, but, you know.
I don't remember who. But yeah, I know what you're talking about.
I don't remember either. I don't know his name. But, yeah, so Caleb has a horse wiener.
That's the point of the story.
That's the point of the story. Oh, yeah, no, but Alexis would, like, drink heavily, right?
Yeah.
Like, everybody else would drink to,
she
like,
get crossfaded, too.
Yeah.
Right.
And she would just start saying, like, the stupidest shit that's, like, borderline not okay, right?
Right.
And I'm like, all right, you got to chill out. Like, it's not that big of a deal, blah, blah, blah. You know?
Did I talk about when I had a fight at the casino a while ago? I feel like I did.
Yeah.
Okay, I did.
You did. You told that story about some guy calling you... Oh,
he called me a fag.
You just reminded me of the story I wanted to tell about my dad.
Okay, here we go.
And the sucky part is I can't do it right now because I fucked my neck up. Now, first and foremost, I don't know how I fucked my neck up.
What does it have to do with the story?
Because it's a part of the story.
Well, you don't have to do the action.
Right. So, I know, I understand, but I would have demonstrated...
Don't.
The situation.
You know I hate when you start doing your weird shit.
Right.
I think you're going to kill yourself.
So, long story short, right? Even though I'm going to explain it through and through.
4 out of 5 times you do that stuff, something bad happens and you tell me about it.
So, my dad, one time I was sitting at the table and I couldn't crack my neck, right? Okay. And I was trying real hard. I was just like, and then I was hitting the back of my neck to like loosen it up, right? And then I was just like, just so you know, me doing all that hurt like a motherfucker because I don't know what it is, but it's like right here, the top part of my neck, for some reason, just extremely hurts. Don't know why. I don't know what I did to like pull a muscle there or something. Something I must have did recently.
Yeah, probably you going fuck.
Probably me.
Every 2 minutes of the day, yeah.
But whatever, right? And I still haven't learned my lesson. Nonetheless, I'm sitting there trying to fucking crack my neck. And my dad looks at me and he's like, what the fuck is your problem? Like, he never came at me like a normal, hey, what's the issue?
Yeah, why would he?
Like, no, he was a gruff, rough and tumble black man who fucking just went at it, right?
I like it.
And he'd just say shit. So like he's like, the fuck are you doing? And then I'm like, you know, hitting my neck and I'm like, I'm trying to crack my neck. It just doesn't want to crack. And then he's like, cracking your neck is for faggots. Don't do that shit. And then he like leaves, right? Yeah. And then it's
wow.
And then I took that to heart. Right?
Okay.
I took it to heart, and then one day he walked past me and he cracked his neck, And I was like, faggot! I got in his face and called him a faggot.
What happened?
And keep in mind, I don't use that word normally.
Sure, yeah.
But I just remember the look on his face.
Was he crying?
He looked at me, remembered, and just started laughing.
Nice.
Right?
What a good father-son moment.
It wasn't I'm angry that he just called me a faggot. Because I've never cussed at my parents. During that time when I was little, I didn't cuss at them. I did cuss, and they knew I cussed. But I never cussed at them.
Yeah.
Right?
Very important distinction.
Right. So I'd never cuss at them. I'd never say any bad things towards them. I would just speak very diligently to them. Right. Because I knew if it was out of pocket, quick sock to the face, or anything. Like, they'd hit me. But I just remember there was a lot of really good moments like that with him. He may have been a very, like, at first, a very angry person. But, afterwards, he raised me since I was 4. He'd tell me all the time, he's like, you're my son. Because he never got to raise his own kids, So what ended up happening was he had a bunch of kids. So I technically have more brothers and sisters that I don't really talk about.
Yeah.
But he had 3 sons, 1 daughter. And what ended up happening was he ended up going to jail. And he didn't get to raise them, right? Yeah. By the time he got out, most of them were already pretty grown, and they didn't care to talk to him like that. They did end up fixing their relationships and becoming better as they were older, kind of like how you did with I guess your mom.
Yeah.
But he would just tell me all the time. He's like, I raised you. You're my son. He would say stuff like that to my brother and my sister too, but I was the favorite, and he'd let them know too. He'd be like, Kyle is my favorite, so, I got some bragging rights, but, nonetheless, we'd have a lot of those moments where it'd be just us laughing about dumb shit, and we go fishing all the time and stuff. But yeah, the beatings were crazy. Yeah. But I just one time called him a faggot. And instead of me getting my ass beat, because I was sweating, I was like, a drop of sweat went down my head.
Right, yeah.
I was like, you faggot! Yeah. And I'm just like, ooh. And then he starts laughing, and I'm like,
that's pretty funny. Yeah.
And then he threw me outside and said I couldn't come back in until I cut the grass.
Oh, Jesus.
Just
to make sure the power's there.
Yeah. Because, there's always something I had to do. And plus, he would rather I'd be outside playing in the grass than fucking in the room just, playing video games or something,
I get you.
So I would get locked out of my house a lot during the day.
You're going to learn.
And, I would have to
survive.
So, just so that it'd be known, because this is something I take pride in. I survived on water hose water for a very long time.
Everything you say day by day just explains so much about you. It shows me how many electrons you're missing that aren't firing.
Well, it also shows you how, things don't bother me.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. And the things that do bother you don't make sense. So, it just...
I have specific things that I'm just well, this is the norm. It has to happen this way.
Uh-huh.
But I'm just saying, on a hot summer day, you're playing outside, you're just chilling, doing whatever.
And there's a hose.
It's some of the most refreshing, lead-filled water you could ever drink.
From rusty pipes.
Yeah. It always tastes like pennies.
Yep.
But it's so fucking good.
Horrible.
I remember last time, I was on the side of my house. And I was just I wonder what this, because I wanted to taste it to see what it tasted like again, right? And then I remember turning the water on, letting it run for a bit, and I had my hose in my hand, and I was using it to clean some stuff, and then I was just all right.
Yeah.
And I was just why did I ever fucking drink this disgusting shit? Because it tasted exactly how I remembered. It wasn't different, but my childhood years... all I remember is refreshingly delicious. But when I took a sip of it and I tried it, I was like, dude, this should have killed me.
Oh my God.
Back in the day. What is this disgusting
That'll
shit?
kill you now? Yeah.
Right. That was good shit back then.
Good shit.
back then, dude, that was the crack I needed to survive.
Oh my God.
But yeah, no. If you got anything else, like,
I don't remember all your stories. Just like,
dude,
they come at me and I start getting absorbed into the lore. You know?
I know. Right?
I feel like I have to call you like, Mr. Potter now because I didn't know you lived in a broom closet.
Most of these stories I haven't thought about.
Right. Yeah, they come back to you.
They're just Vietnam flashbacks
exactly.
at this point.
Yeah, I recall now that we're talking about this kind of stuff, like relationship wise or whatever, and I can already see what the title of this goddamn episode is going to be. Child story. You know, but like...
child abuse.
Probably get the most views. So, I remember... Shut up. So my dad would purposely, just for fun for him, just to make him laugh, he would purposely let me say dumb shit in public just to make him, like, laugh. Like, just to make him, you know what I mean? He would use me as his entertainment tool, right? And which I'm sure you're used to, right? So, for example, one thing would be I would have tendencies to either pronounce things wrong, which is why it probably bothers me so much when, like, it shouldn't. I should mind my own fucking business. But, like, when people start saying things grammatically incorrect...
You just reminded me of the
You know
story,
what I mean? I got you. Next part. Grammatically incorrect or, like, whatever. I correct myself or I correct others really quick because it just, like, it fires in my head that whatever. I don't know why. But... basically, like, for example, my dad would always take me to Dick's Sporting Goods, you know?
That's cool.
If you pay attention to Dick's Sporting Goods, the little hyphen in the Dick with the, you know, possessive S
sure
is balls. It's like soccer balls, baseball, you know what I mean, football.
Oh, that's what it says that?
No, it's like a line of the balls is the hyphen.
I wouldn't know.
Okay. So...
but that sounds cool.
Right, like the word dicks with the hyphen is, you know, the balls are the hyphen, so it's kind of like sportsy, right?
Yeah.
I used to look at it and read it as dick balls. So I would always want to go to Dick's with my dad because it was kind of like the Cabela's of the day where it was like, you go in, love Cabela's. And
my dad used to take me to Cabela's all the time.
Right, exactly.
Just because.
And like, you know, you go and you see the fucking animal things, the stuffed animals, the guns,
and then they had the shooting range thing that you could do.
Right.
When it was actually fun.
Yes. I remember that.
Yeah,
I remember that.
You could shoot all the stuff and stuff would happen.
Yeah.
Oh my God, dude.
So,
fucking Cabela's. Not sponsored, but if we were, I would fucking do anything to get a sponsorship there.
REI, Bass Pro Shop, guys, reach out. So,
dude,
we'll suck anyone's dick. We will sell our souls.
I ain't gay, but you best believe these lips are flexible.
I'm gay. So, we would go to like, we'd be in like Kroger, right?
Yeah.
Grocery store. And I would be asking my dad, like publicly, I was a loud kid, so I'd be like, Dad, can we go to Dick Balls? And he would just laugh his ass off. And it took 3 years for me to realize what was so fucking funny. And we'd be in the car. We'd be driving like to school in the morning. You know what I mean? Because he works there. And I'd be like, are we going to go to Dick Balls after work? And he's just laughing. He's just laughing his ass off. You ever grab a ball and then you see like the hoops in there that have like the plastic on them and you still try to make the shot? What plastic on them? For the hoops? First of all, don't like basketball. Never really touched basketballs in my life. Okay, that's fair. You're probably more of a tennis kind of guy. No. Why? Because you're fucking white. No. Not much for tennis. I like extreme sports. That's fair. You know, I love paintball. I love snowboarding. I love... You know what I mean? No, I understood, but I was going with a joke. Because for the bit. For the bit. Just to call you white. Thanks, bro. Yeah. Privilege. Yeah. So, what were you about to say? So... It sounded funny. So... This is a story about my brother. It always is. So it's not very appropriate, right? Okay. So I remember a long time ago when I was little, my brother used to say all the time, he still says it to this day. Okay. That I'm going to fuck you, right? Yeah, he does say it. He's been saying that my whole life. The first time I met him, he said that to me. Yeah. Love it. That's just something that he says. It's been with him since he was fucking like 8 years old. Yeah. I don't know. He just says it, right? So, you know, thinking about it, like, dude, he probably said that to so many fucking people just randomly. Right. But for some reason, I got it in my head that it was funny. Yeah. Right? Yeah. So just seeing the reaction. But back in the day,
before my brother burned down my family's house, we used to shower together.
Okay.
Right? Because apparently I wasn't trusted to shower alone.
Right. That's weird.
I was too little.
Okay. I guess that makes sense.
So like
you don't want to slip and fall. You don't want to. Yeah.
Right. I was like 4 or 5.
You don't want to eat anything.
I was like 4 or 5, so I would shower with my brother.
Yeah.
Right?
I've taken a bite of a bar of soap before. I feel you.
Sure, whatever. I just remember my mom.
I mean, like, you're curious.
Huh? Oh, you ate soap?
Like, you can't get trusted.
I want you to know I had an abusive mother that shoved soap in my mouth, so.
I've had that one time.
So,
yeah.
I'm just saying, if you bit some soap, bitch, I swallowed some. Like, what's up? But I would shower with my brother, right? And then I remember my brother took me to a party to hang out with him and his friends.
Okay.
And it was just like a bunch of fucking people I don't know and all that, right? And I just remember going to the party and then someone like randomly said, "So I heard you showered with your brother." And then I was like, yeah, like it was a normal thing. I'm like, yeah, I showered with my brother. And then I just randomly said, "He fucked me in the ass." And
what? You can't say that.
So like I just randomly said that he fucked me.
Okay.
Right? And then all I know is his friend took me around the fucking party and was like, "Repeat what you just said."
Oh my God.
I went around the entire party and I was like, "Yeah, I'm Mikhail's little brother. He fucked me." We showered together. You know, like, and like everybody's laughing.
Yeah.
So like, I'm all like, "Oh, this is a good thing to say."
Yeah.
So I'm all like, "Yeah, whatever." And I was just going around. And then I remember at the very end, I got over to my brother and I was like, "Everybody likes me here. Everybody's so nice."
Yeah.
And he's like, "What the fuck have you been saying to people?" And then I was like, I used your joke. And then he's like, "What are you talking about?" I was like, "I told him that you fucked me." and then he starts laughing, right?
Right.
Because he's a fucking juvenile and it's funny to him. And then he's like, "Okay, please tell me what you said." I was like, "I told him that we showered together and, you know, you tried to fuck me and that's it." And then he's just like, he laughed about it, right?
Right.
And he's like, "All right, come on, let's go tell some more people."
Yeah.
You know, like immediately.
That's funny.
He didn't stop. He didn't skip a beat. He's just like, "That's fucking funny. Let's go."
Horrible.
And he just had me tell like hundreds of people that I got fucked by my brother, you know?
That's funny.
Yeah. Just so you guys know, I've never been fucked by my brother. Keeping that up.
Allegedly.
Houdini
does look really pretty after you showered her.
Right. Like, she's so
I'm seeing she's glowing.
She's like so much brighter and like...
Right.
She just looks a lot cleaner.
She's glowing.
Because I really did, like, I scrubbed her with like a brush.
Yeah.
And like... It didn't work fully because she was like fighting me the whole time.
Right.
What I was trying to tell you earlier, while I was like doing that and she like bit me and I was trying to get her off, she ended up biting me right here and climbing and standing on my shoulder and just chilling on my shoulder.
Yay.
She calmed down and she wasn't doing anything. And I'm like, "Bitch, we ain't done showering." And I dunked her back into the water, you know?
Nice.
But, you know, she fucking took... It doesn't look like she took a chunk, but she ripped the skin at least.
No, it hurts. Because it's a point.
Sucked.
And it's like, you know, the pressure to...
Oh, and she was
like the crank,
go. She's like, "Oh, you're trying to drown me."
Yeah.
As hard as she could.
Oh.
She knows what she did.
Poor baby.
But she dried a lot faster than she's ever dried, like, from what I could tell.
Look at her belly, just fluffed.
It's fluffed, yeah.
Fluffed. What a beautiful thing.
I combed it, too. She doesn't want me to touch it now.
Oh, baby.
Yeah, bitch.
Yee.
But
what a mascot.
I know.
Gifts coming next week.
I look forward to seeing whatever it is.
If it's on time, I think we'll record next week if you're available. Or if I'm not dead.
I leave the 24th. So what needs to happen is we need to film another and have like extra for while I'm gone. Because I'm gone for like a week and a half.
Right.
So we're not going to be posting shit for a minute, you know? Mm-hmm. So it's really all you can do it by yourself.
If you tell me what to do, I'll get it done.
I'll give you the key to my house.
That's what I was thinking. I'm like, if you want, I can just
Just being
Do it.
Hey, it's
Yeah.
Kyle all by himself. I mean, Thomas. It's Thomas all by himself today. So, Kyle, let me tell you this story. Like, you're still gonna pretend that I'm here.
Oh, no, motherfucker. I'm talking about uploading what we have.
Oh, I can, yeah. Okay.
Or you can schedule it.
I thought you were just gonna make your own show
No.
for the day.
No.
One episode with just Thomas.
I'm only so funny.
That's true, you're not.
I am pretty funny.
As long as you have something to bounce
Who's
off.
funnier out of the two of us?
Me, always.
Now, is it circumstance or is it all the time?
So,
Do you get what I'm saying?
everything is circumstantial, for sure.
For sure.
Right? But I think inherently, I am more funny.
I'm going to give you the boost and say, yeah, I agree.
And I'm going to smack myself down because I was born a retard, and for me to, like, figure out how to make friends and shit, and people would know that I'm, like, dumb, I had to, like, be funny enough to make friends, because a lot of, like... So, keep in mind, back in the day when I went to a school, it was a private school, right?
Yeah.
They kind of blended us all together, but you could tell who the fucking dumb kids were.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, you were on that short bus.
Right. Well, keep in mind, one of the reasons why
It's in my mind.
one of the reasons why I had a hard time learning in my younger years was when my dad killed himself, I stopped doing anything.
Yeah.
So I had to go through like a bunch of rehab bullshit, or not rehab. What is that shit? Counseling.
Counseling.
I had to go through like a bunch of counseling and shit. And then like I finally started like paying attention in school and stuff. And then right after all of that, I got into a bad car accident that borderline made me deaf. And then from there, I just didn't care to listen anymore. Cause like, why would I pay attention to you when I don't even pay attention to myself?
Right.
And I was super hyperactive. So for me to make any friends, I had to be like likable. So I tried to be as funny as possible.
Yeah.
I also tried to learn unreasonably difficult words. So what?
I had to laugh.
Okay. So one of the reasons why was because my brother was like
Don't take offense.
I did.
Okay.
Why would I?
You looked like you were offended at first.
I don't take offense from you.
Okay.
It's very hard for me to get hurt by you.
Right. I just have to eat your Fruity Pebbles.
Huh?
I just have to eat your Fruity Pebbles when you give me the key to your house.
There are no Fruity Pebbles in my house right now.
Okay, but I'll find something.
Gotcha.
Find your secret stash of snacks.
But nonetheless, my brother was like a spelling bee champion. Like he would go from state to state fucking traveling.
Wow.
Like it was ridiculous.
Yeah.
So I would always be around him. He'd always be using these crazy fucking words. And I would always ask him, what does that word mean? What do you have to do to use that word? Right? And I would learn that, and then I would use all these big words to act like I was smarter than most kids.
For sure.
You know? And, but I would never, like, I couldn't spell. I couldn't do shit. Like, the way that I learned how to spell when I was little, I memorized every word. So if it was a word that I'd never seen before, I couldn't do the, so during that time, where I shut down and learning bullshit, they were teaching the phonetics for all the words and letters and shit, right?
Phonetics.
Yes. What?
Look at you go tonight.
Fuck you.
You're on it, baby.
So.
Did you get a nap when you got home after work?
Huh?
Did you get?
I didn't get a nap.
You're just powering through.
Yeah.
This guy.
But so what ended up happening was that, you know, I never learned any of that. So like the word the. Yeah. I knew what the word was. But if it wasn't in front of me, I wouldn't be able to spell it because I didn't know what the letters were.
That's crazy.
Right. But if you had put it in front of me, I could read it. Right? So like...
But in your own head, you couldn't sound out the and then like write it?
I didn't know the phonetics.
Wow.
So the way that I forced myself to learn to read...
so special.
Right, but it was a coping mechanism that I had to do to catch up to all my friends. Mm-hmm. So I would listen to them read, I'd look at what they read, and then I'd be like, oh, that word's cat. Now I know what cat is because they say this word is cat.
You're like a fucking AI. You're like a robot learning.
Right.
Learning to blend in with society.
So that's...
Are you a sleeper agent?
Huh?
Are you a sleeper agent for the Cuban
No.
nationalists?
But that's how I learned to read back in the day.
I got you.
And it was very difficult because there were just words that no one ever taught me. So I just didn't know what they were. So I would be like, you would see me sitting there and I'd be reading a book and I'd say I was reading Dr. Seuss, right? And I was like, 1 fish, 2 fish, 3 fish. And then I don't know what the word for is. So I would skip that and I would say, other fish, you know, I would just,
what?
And I would skip that word because I don't know it. And then I would just continue reading. And if I didn't know the word, I would just completely blank it out and I would just continue reading.
That explains a lot.
So how you've seen how I read things.
Yeah, I've seen it.
I still have that ingrained in me.
I've seen it. You like just jump.
Right. So
that's so crazy.
It's something that I have to...
That explains everything. My whole universe has changed.
Theories, everything's breaking apart. So I specifically have to stop myself from doing that so that I can read properly.
This whole time I've been making fun of you, and you just have a disability.
So yeah, but my memory and my learning comprehension part is really strong because of this issue. So it was weird because I was always one of those people, the moment I understood something, I didn't forget it and I was able to like redo everything over and over again. Right? And I'm still kind of the same way. As long as I understand it, I can do it perfectly fine. And I know that goes for anybody. But I'm meaning it, I understand it right now, right? You tell me to do it 3 years later, I can still do it for you.
Gotcha.
Even though I've never done it again since that one time.
Right. And most people like myself would need a refresher.
Right.
I get you.
So that's the kind of shit that would happen for me.
Yeah.
But I had a... 8th grade is when, so shout out to CCA.
Shout out to CCA.
Cesar Chavez Academy, high school, middle school, and elementary.
That's the second time you've plugged them.
That is where I went. That is like my second home if I had to go back to school, right? But during my 8th grade year, my teacher... he was my special ed teacher. His name was Mr. Wright. He worked with me for the first 2 years, and he said, I cannot teach you how to read. And he realized that he couldn't do it, right? He tried his hardest. Like, literally, I remember...
You're too special.
I remember one time he asked me to spell the word gun, and I didn't know how to spell gun. And he's like, how do you not know how to spell the word gun? And I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, I don't even know what that looks like, right? And he showed me the word gun, and I'm like, oh, that word's gun, right? Like, he just has all these cue cards.
Yeah.
And he's just flipping through them, right? And I'll name them, boom, boom, boom. If I don't know it, he'll tell me sound it out.
Yeah.
And he tried teaching me the phonetics, but it just wasn't clicking in my head, right? And I worked with him for 2 years, and none of it was helping me, right?
Wow.
Because of the way that I locked my mind to read words. If he had told me, this word is gun, remember that, that would have stayed in my head.
You're crazy.
I know. But it's kind of like, it's the retarded version of a photographic memory.
That's probably the best way you could explain it.
That's the best way I can say it.
Yeah.
Right? Because the way that I remembered things was just by like understanding it. And the moment I understood it, it locked. And I hate to say it that way because that sounds retarded.
You don't know how to spell gun.
Right. I can spell it now, obviously. But fuck you, I'm not gonna do it. Don't give me that face.
Go ahead.
Fuck you.
Just say it.
But as I was saying,
why are you skipping over it? Just say it.
Because I'm not gonna fucking spell like a monkey for you, bitch. But nonetheless, he ended up contacting one of his friends from like another district, right?
Yeah.
We
got a special case here.
They came to my school And I specifically had a one-on-one class with this lady. During the time, her name was Miss K. Mm-hmm. She had this crazy-ass fucking name. But she just said, call me Miss K.
Kilimanjaro or some shit.
Literally.
Yeah.
It was like Cloud something, like really fucking long.
Yeah.
And she pretty much listened to me, right? She was like, okay, so I heard you know how to read, right? And I'm like, no, I don't know how to read at all. And she was like, okay, well, let's try this, right? Read this book to me as best as you can. Doesn't matter how you read it, even if you don't know a word, right? Mm-hmm. And I'm just like, fuck it, let's do it. And this is just like literally a 3-year-old book.
I was gonna say, is it a picture book?
Yeah, literally, but like it had words on it, right?
Yeah. And
like, you know, I usually don't talk too deeply about this because this is my shameful retardedness that I don't like talking about.
Okay.
But
expose yourself for the internet.
Right. I will talk about it because I'm comfortable doing it.
I like it.
That's why it doesn't bother me.
Yeah.
Because now I'm past all of that.
Yeah.
I've conquered those specific demons that I've had. Fuck you. You're another demon. I saw this movie.
Don't sidetrack.
Oh, okay. So.
Shut the fuck up. Yeah.
Sorry. This is about a parrot, and the parrot was like death or something. And it really fucked me up one day.
What?
I think I sent you a link on TikTok.
All right, go.
But so they gave me this teacher one-on-one, right? I would literally be with her for 2 hours every day. 2 hours. So what ended up happening was I read the book to her as best as I can, and she explained to me, she's like, so you don't know a single phonetic, right? And I'm like, no, I don't even know what that means. And she's like, has anybody taught you this before? I was like, maybe, but I just don't understand it, so I don't remember. And she's like, okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to break down how you read. And this is how I realized how I read, right? Because she was able to diagnose it. And so all of that explanation of how I did it, she told me that, right? Mm-hmm. And she said, now I need you to understand you are wrong for doing this. And I'm like,
that's funny.
I'm like, it's all I know.
Yeah.
And she's like, you're not bad for doing it, but you're wrong. And you need to understand that so you can fix it. And I'm like, okay, so how do we fix it? And she's like, okay, so we went through the entire alphabet. I learned the alphabet once again from her, A, B, C, D. And then she said, all right, now we're going to learn the phonetics of every sound the alphabet has, right? And then we're going to learn what sounds certain letters have together, right? We got through a lot of them, right? But I never, by the time she got to the school, I didn't finish her program, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense.
So I got as far in her program as I could, and then I graduated.
Yeah.
Because I may have not known how to read, but I knew how to do my work.
Yeah.
Like math, so fucking good. I could number, boom, I can slap those together, divide them, do what I had to do, right?
I can't do that.
I had an A in math. Science class I had, I think, a D because I never liked science.
I love science.
And then English I had like a C, and then anything else it was either a B or a C. During that time. But she essentially got me to learn all the phonetics, and then she started like putting them together, and I would sound things out, right? And I wouldn't know what they had made, right? Mm-hmm. So
give me an example.
I'm trying to think of like a good word where the phonetics literally make the sound.
Alphabet.
No.
Alphabet.
Right, I understand.
Yeah.
But
that's not a good example for you?
I wouldn't have used that example.
Okay.
You know, in my head. So like, let's say apple.
Okay.
Right? If you spelled apple, go for it.
A-P-P-L-E.
Good. I can get you to spell at least.
Yeah. Because I know how to.
Right. But then do the phonetics for it. Do the phonetics for it.
Define phonetics.
A. Mm-hmm. O. Yeah. Right? And then from there, you get, the APPL, whatever the fuck, right?
Yeah. E.
I know. But, I would do the phonetics to it, and I wouldn't understand at all. Like, and I would do each letter, right?
What the fuck does that mean? Like, you were looking at the letters, and when you sounded it out, you couldn't complete the word? Is that what you're saying to me?
Right. So I used to fight the urge to sound out in my head, right?
Why? That helps.
Well, that's the thing. I knew what the word apple was.
Okay.
So I was still doing my bullshit, like, oh, that's apple. I already know it's apple. I don't need to know apple anymore. Right? So...
But you weren't going the full mile?
Right. Because at first I had to break it down. But then when she would, like, spell it phonetically, and I would have to spell it phonetically, it wouldn't click in my head. That word means apple. Right?
You're losing me.
I know, it's hard to explain.
Yeah, like, that doesn't make sense.
So do the phonetics, right?
Apple.
Right.
Like that? Yeah.
Yeah. You see how you said apple?
Yeah.
In my head, that wouldn't say apple in my head.
So you would just go apple.
Yeah.
What's that?
And I'm like, what is that? Because I would say...
But you're saying it.
I would go, right? Pa. Ol. And then I would make the E sound too. Because
yeah.
During that time, I'm like, eh. And I'm like, what is that?
Apple.
Eh. Yeah, I would say words like that. I would say the correct word, because you know how on some words, like, they're spelled differently, but because they're set up in a certain way, they're supposed to sound different.
Yeah.
There were certain phonetics that I just didn't know, and that she had to break down for me, right? Like double R's, double T's, double all that bullshit. I learned all of it after a while, and now I know how to read, but I still do the same shit that I don't want to do anymore.
Okay.
If I don't try hard enough, right?
Yeah.
Because how my ability has grown is that
disability.
Right. How my disability has grown.
No. Don't let me put you in the wrong path, brother.
Okay, whatever.
You're strong and you've overcome a lot to get to where you are today. But don't let me ruin it for you.
But so what ends up happening was for a long time I took all that information that I learned from her.
Yeah.
Right? And what I would do is I used it to memorize other words. Just so that I would never have to read again.
So you cheated.
I cheated. I found my way to read by learning to read.
Well, I want to say that if it works for you, it works. But I've seen you in action, and sometimes it doesn't.
Well, that's the thing.
Yeah.
So sometimes I will get stuck because there are phonetics I never learned.
What? That's crazy.
And I want you to understand.
It's also crazy because you speak 2 languages.
Yes.
So it doesn't make sense.
So till this day, I don't know what phonetics they are, right?
Right.
Because
until
it just comes across, and then I'll just look at it and I'll be like, I don't actually know what this word is.
Like, spell xylophone.
I don't know how to spell xylophone.
I assume that's probably one of your phonetics you understand. Like, I think if you spelled xylophone and you were like, k, e, z, you know what I mean?
Fair
It'd be
enough.
like zolif.
So, as you started to do that,
yeah.
I pictured what it would look like.
Yeah.
But I know if I wrote it down for you, you would say, that is not what I just said.
Right.
Right?
Right.
So, that's my biggest issue. I didn't finish her whole thing. She told me if she had at least one more year with me, I would have been perfectly set and I wouldn't have to rely on what I rely on. Life. Right. So my whole thing during high school was I figured out how I could read, but I needed to memorize everything. And so long story short, right, because I'm rambling too much about it. Now I don't do that as much as I used to because I specifically, after high school, I learned no one's going to help me. I need to do everything myself. So I need to quit being a bitch and just start fucking learning how to read properly. Mm-hmm. So I know that sounds weird that it took me until my fucking 12th grade year to finally be like, I need to learn properly. So the problem that lies at hand is there are words that I have memorized, right? Like if I look at Warcraft, I don't read Warcraft. I just know that it's Warcraft.
Because of the shape of the letters. Like the title card.
Kind of. It's like a feeling I get, right? It's hard to explain. It's really difficult because it's just a memory that I know.
What does that say in the black box?
What, Rebel?
What was the whole word?
Star Wars. Right there.
Under that. I'm just watching it. I'm watching you.
What do you mean?
Well, you just said rebel. What does it say?
Are you talking about the little words?
The big word. What does it say? I can't read the little words. What's the big word say?
Revelation.
Don't fuck with me. You're doing that on purpose.
I don't know. I do that part where I'm like...
So you read rebel and then you gave up?
Yes. Immediately. That's how I read really fast.
Okay, so take out rebel.
Yeah.
What does the last part say that you didn't say? He's sounding it out in his head.
What do you mean? Like, you're talking about like the...
Yeah, the last four letters.
The lion part.
Okay.
Yeah.
Put it together.
I don't want to...
Put it together.
I don't want to say it out loud. It doesn't sound right.
No, it's going to sound dumb, but I'm going to help you.
It doesn't sound right in my head. That's the problem. Say
what it sounds like in your head.
So like
know. The audience wants to know too.
So understand this, right? We found a word that like in my head it didn't click immediately.
Right.
This is me doing that instant read style, right?
Yeah. How I wanted to see in action.
How I would do it normally.
I'm Mrs. K. Okay.
Right. Yeah. How I would do it right now.
Yeah.
If like the way that I train myself, I would read the word correctly, right? I would sound it out in my head properly, and I would actually try to get the phonetics correct, and then I would say it. But how I read that is, like, it'd be rebel, and then I would see lion, and I wouldn't put it together. It's...
We'll just put together the words right now. Just say it. Stop looking at it. But say what you just said to me.
But I know the double L has its own thing that you're supposed to use.
Okay, but in your head...
And then the ION has its own thing.
You're skipping one step, which is going to fix this whole problem. You are putting two words in your head, right?
Right.
Say the two words right now.
Rebel lion.
Okay. Now just...
But it doesn't sound right to me.
Right, but what word does those two sound like together?
Rebel lion?
Yeah. You don't have to look at it.
I don't know.
Rebellion.
That's what it sounds like. That's what it is. Okay, I got it.
Yeah.
Right.
So in your head, if you have two separate words that are one word in your head because you split it into two, because you gave up halfway.
So understand this. Now that I know what this word is because of what we just did, I'll never forget.
Right.
It's now stuck in my head. I will never have to read that word again.
Got it.
If I saw it on a random piece of paper, it is now phonetically stuck in my head.
Yeah.
Now I know it.
I get how you... I got it.
Okay.
I took years of psychology for this moment. Right here. Because watch this. Look at the second Funko Pop on the bottom. So the bottom middle.
What, Gearhead?
Yes, exactly. You can say Gearhead because you know it's a character in a show that you really like. And you already know.
I know who he is.
Right, so you don't have to read that. But it's the picture that like...
Right. As long as I can understand what it is, I don't need to read it.
I got it.
But if I was trying to read it...
That is pretty normal.
That's what would stop me. Right? But now...
Yourself.
Right.
Yeah.
But the way that I do it now... So, like, I want you to know, I spent a year reading a book on my phone, right? Mm-hmm. And I thought the book was really cool. And I'm like, cool, this makes sense. And I kind of felt like I missed something in the book. Uh-huh. So I reread the book.
Yeah.
And...
What book was it?
So the book is called Tales of Demons and Gods. It's about this guy who pretty much goes back in time to, like, change his whole fate, right?
Okay.
Long story short, all of his friends and family get fucking murdered. His town gets destroyed. He's, like, traveling the world, getting stronger, and he figures out how to go back in time. That's pretty much the basis of the story.
Okay.
He goes back in time to change the fate of everybody so that no one dies. so far in the story, he's doing a fairly good job.
But then he won't exist.
There's a little more to the story
Multiverse?
that I'm not going to tell.
Okay.
I don't know if there's a multiverse. I just know...
Well, like multiple timeline theory?
Well, the thing is, he went back in time, but he went...
Not a sponsor.
He went back in time, but he went back in time into a younger self. So he is himself.
I appreciate that.
With all his prior knowledge.
I like that. A lot of stories just assume you're an adult again going back in time.
Don't worry about that. Yeah.
Right?
So, but yeah, that's how my teacher saw that I would read.
Wait, what happened with the book?
Oh, right.
So what, you reread it? Did you skip a whole fucking chapter?
Oh, fuck. Sorry. I was...
Yeah.
So what happened was I read the book again.
Yeah.
But this time I actually because during that time I was just, can't read that word, move on. And I would just...
Jesus.
And I would just read it as I would go, right?
Yeah.
But I felt like I was missing something. And I was reading that back then when I wasn't trying, right? Then I got into that attitude, I need to start reading. I'm going to practice reading using the books that I read all the time. Right? That's why I read a lot of manga, because I want to keep reading so that I connect two and two with all the different words, right? So what ends up happening is I reread the book and it's a whole different story to me. Like everything that I took from the first time, like I thought this was just like a really straight like edged story where I'm like, oh, there's not much depth to it. It's not too crazy.
But the stuff you didn't understand, you just skipped.
Right.
Yeah.
And then I actually read it and I'm like, dude, I didn't even know he could do this. Like, this is a thing? What the fuck? You know? And I learned like a whole new part of the story that I didn't get to do because...
Well, that's fun because you got to experience it a second time.
Right.
Right.
The first time I loved it.
Yeah.
The second time, I was amazed by it.
I gotcha.
If that makes sense.
That does. You're like a puppy.
Right. So that's how like for like reading wise.
Yeah.
Got it for me. And like I still do that shit. Like I'll be reading a piece of paper and I'll read the words and I'll be like, okay, so I know it's that. But then in my head, I'll change a word really fast. Even if I don't want to. I can't help myself. I have to, like, if I say it out loud. And you've seen me do that.
I'm going to hot take real quick.
Go ahead.
Almost like John. When John doesn't hear or want to hear things he doesn't want, he'll just skip it. But yours...
Well, the thing is, me and John are pretty similar. It doesn't bother me to say that.
Yeah, bothers me. Uh-huh.
I know. But me and John are literally similar. We get along so well because we understand each other fully. Like, John knows when I'm on some other shit. I know when John's on some other shit. You know?
I just had a crazy leg cramp, sorry.
Oh, okay, that's fine.
Wow.
Don't have that when you're running from a fucking bobcat.
Holy shit. Yeah. That was crazy.
But yeah, I thought that was just a little random thing to have a tantrum about.
No, that's a really good segue into our relationship.
Oh, okay. What's our relationship?
Because it just makes it so interesting how we learn.
Well, this is why, remember when I tell you I remember things that you specifically forget?
Yeah.
And I can...
If you bring up the backpack with the laptop...
That's fine.
I'm going to stab you in the chest.
I'm not going to bring that up.
Okay.
But the problem is I can't mentally forget it. It won't let me. So it's something that's imprinted on me.
Right, but I think you replaced the image of somebody else with me.
No, I didn't.
Here we go.
We're not going to talk about that.
This is it.
But I didn't replace anybody.
As soon as you drop this camera, I'm stabbing you.
There's so many conversations I've had with distinct people.
Right.
That every time I see them, it's like...
It brings back.
My memory for you is, boom, this happens, this happens, this happens. This is my foundation for you.
Okay.
You know? Our foundation is forever growing because...
I feel like I need to build a better foundation.
Well, your foundation is a lot of fuck-ups. But, so let's say me and Tracy.
Yeah.
Right? Just so that you guys know, I've spoke about Tracy before. She is a very short black woman who I work with inside the office, which...
they got the lore.
Yeah, just in case they didn't hear that episode, you know. You never know. People could be skipping around. But, nonetheless, what? Why are you about to laugh?
Because they don't know the phonetics.
They don't know the phonetics.
Because they be skipping around?
Sure.
Come on.
Thank you.
All right.
You gotta laugh out of the bird.
Thank you.
But, so...
What's your bird's name? Mussolini.
It's Houdini.
I know it's Houdini, but I was like thinking about a Mussolini joke for some reason because I don't know.
Gotcha. Don't ask me to spell it. All right. So...
I'm not sure I could confidently. Okay.
Okay, fair enough. But like how my foundation with Tracy is, first time I met her, she was very quiet, didn't like to talk.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So I'm like, I can't have this. I need her to be able to talk to me. Right?
I need to force her out of her comfort
So
zone.
I would just randomly ask her questions.
Yeah.
Right?
Open it up.
To build on it. And
Build the
like
friendship.
she's answered. I remember I don't know if she's going to remember this, but I spent a whole day asking her like 500 questions that I literally looked up on Google. I just typed in questions to ask something or to ask a stranger that you don't know. And it was just a giant list. And I just kept asking her these questions randomly throughout the day. And she would pause what she was doing.
You're a psychopath.
Explain it to me. Right? Just so I could get a mental idea of where she's at.
Yeah.
So that I could convert myself to a way that she would enjoy talking to. Right? Because everybody I talk to different. It may not look like it, but I do.
I've seen a little.
And like some people it's really easy to see.
Yeah.
Because some people I don't want to talk to.
Right.
Some people
I see it more in your posture, not your voice.
Right.
Yeah, the way you talk is, I think, the same, but the way you act is different.
Exactly.
Yeah, I see it.
So
yeah.
I'm very, handsy and like whatever when I fucking show.
Not when you're with certain company.
Right.
Right.
I don't give them that benefit.
No, you're very like, literally like this, like.
Yep, that's all they can get out.
Yeah, like you're very, yeah.
But for Tracy, I was trying to learn everything.
I'm dying in here.
I know, it's hot as fuck.
Dude, I've been sweating this whole time.
Uh-huh.
Do you see it?
Yeah.
I'm dying.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's cool. But like for Tracy,
we're almost there.
I know. I asked her like fucking like literally like 50 questions. She answered a whole bunch of them. And then at the very end, I was like, hey, I just want you to know. I just looked up like a Quizlet and I just started asking you a bunch of questions.
Fuck you, Kyle.
Exactly what she said.
I got it.
She's like, well, what kind of fucking... I thought we were having a good conversation.
It worked.
And I was like, right? Wasn't it awesome? But now I know so much about you because before you wouldn't say shit to me. And now we can have real conversations.
There it is.
And then I let her know I'm fucking crazy, you know?
By the way, I'm a psychopath.
Right. But just so that you know, when I first went to college, I went for like therapy and all that.
Yeah.
Because like my whole life, I fucking worked with counselors. I worked with like specific people.
It grows on you.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm like,
and you're like, you want to reciprocate this to people.
Right.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
This is a great profession. This seems like it's worth it.
Then you're like, oh, it pays $40,000 a year.
Yeah. Whatever.
Right.
But then I was like, I started out in that, and then I was like, it's not really for me because some of the words were a little too hard to read. And I was just like, I'm like, whatever, I don't care. I switched over to computer stuff, and computer's really easy. Once you understand it, it's just boom, you can do it every time.
Yeah.
And it's like whenever you tell me you don't know something, I'm like, how the fuck do you not know? You know?
Yeah.
This is something I learned 10 years ago. It's like, bitch, I didn't go to school for this. You know? I'm like, I did, and I remember it. But whatever.
Yeah, because when I'm doing something and I don't know how to do it, you look at me like I'm fucking stupid.
Yeah. Just so you know, Higazi would do the same thing to you and like everybody else. Especially Sharuk.
Yeah, but we ignore him. I don't give a fuck.
I know, but...
Does he know about the podcast?
Yes, but he's never listened.
He's gonna.
Me and Higazi used to fucking just sit in the office laughing. That was Juan, by the way. What?
Nah,
I don't want him on.
agreed.
Yeah. But we would laugh in the office because we would say something to like Sharuk or you or whoever, and we would say something that was like technology wise or something close to that, and you guys just wouldn't understand or wouldn't care.
Yeah.
And me and him would be like, They're not smart enough to understand. Don't worry.
Just two nerds laughing.
Right. And we just laugh about it. But that's also because, like, I think borderline Higazi has, like, his own special ed tendencies.
Real bad.
Yeah. Like, 100%. Like, just so this be known, if he ever listens to this, a retard can find another retard.
There it is.
Just saying.
Like a moth to the flame.
Yeah. But
you guys congregate.
Yeah. But nonetheless, he would use, like, certain...
Why are we such good friends, Mike?
Of course you are. You literally told me you fucking had a job and you freaked out and were like, ah, the whole fucking time.
It was awesome.
Like, there's no way you ain't special in some way.
One of my first times realizing what was going on before going to the doctor.
Yeah. There you go. But yeah, me and Higazi would, like, laugh about that shit all the time. Like, when he was training Sharuk in the office, and he literally asked Sharuk, how do you add and subtract? And Sharuk got confused. I don't know why Sharuk got confused, because, like, I understood it as soon as he said it. He's like, we have these specific paperworks. This paperwork has to be filed this way. And then you have to understand that this one is subtraction. This one over here is times. This one over here is this. And that's what you have to do on it. And just follow the fucking... Like, it's all, like, worded properly that you just follow the line, you'll understand. And then he was like, now which one's which? Right? And then in my head, I'm like, boom, that one, got it. And I know, right? It's now stuck in my head. I now understand what his paperwork was.
Yeah.
For no fucking reason, it's stuck in my head now. But Sharuk was, like, sitting there, and he's like, I just don't know. Can you explain it to me, like, one more time? He explains it again. But him being the asshole that he is, he explains it in a different way.
Nice.
Just to try to help him understand. Because it seems like he's like, okay, he didn't understand it the first way. Let me change how I said it so that he'll understand it the next time. Right? So he taught it a different way. And you know how Higazi is. Higazi's good at explaining things when he wants to. So he explained it in a different way. And Sharuk got even more confused because... Now he used a whole different way to explain it. And he was just like, gone. Right? Fucking... Who are you looking up? What you typing?
Nothing.
Who you writing?
My mother.
Liar. Alright. I believe you though. But yeah. So then, like, I'm sitting in there for an hour with him, and then Higazi explains it in, like, 3 different ways, and then he continues to explain them all in the detailed way, right? And Sharuk's just not...
Do you think I was messaging Higazi?
Yeah.
Not too late.
No, I was thinking Sharuk.
Oh, not gonna fuck.
But I thought you were just gonna text him, like, retard or something.
I already did earlier.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, for a whole different reason. I was like, you're stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whatever. I don't feel like talking to Juan.
Why is he calling you so much?
Probably he wants to quit.
Yeah.
He told me to pick up his badge.
He didn't show up today. Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't want to waste my time going to your house to pick up your badge.
No, have him drop it off. He needs to pick up his last check anyways.
Yeah. So, whatever.
He's a bitch.
Sometimes. I like him, so I don't...
No, I like Juan too.
I give him unjust bias.
I relied on him for several things over the last few weeks. So...
For the last few weeks?
Yeah.
He hasn't been to work, and, like, he comes
once.
He came one day.
A day per week.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm fully fucking aware of his attendance.
Yeah.
I just mean, like, you know, he was set up for promotion not that long ago.
He was?
Yes.
He was going to become a soup?
He's on my list for training for specific things. SRT first.
You were going to make him an SRT?
Yeah.
Well, it makes sense. He was good at doing that shit.
Yeah.
I'm glad that he was going to get that, but in my head, he does not deserve it at all.
No, and I'm glad he wants to go to another thing, but the way he is leaving a job by not showing up constantly is ridiculous.
So the biggest thing is he should have been fired months ago.
Oh, absolutely. 90% of the staff should be fired.
Oh, dude, yeah.
Yeah.
There's so many people, like, shit, you probably should have been fired for, like, your fucking attendance. Like...
5 minutes late every day, baby.
The only person who has near perfect attendance at this fucking job is me. Because I don't come late normally. Just so that you know.
Weren't you late yesterday?
I was.
All right.
But I was late because of Courtney. So, but nonetheless, I was still late. right?
Right.
Technically, I could also blame Juan because I went to go pick his.
There it is.
And then he took like an extra like 7 minutes to come out of his house when he should have just came out.
What the fuck were you talking about before that phone went off?
Huh? No idea.
I know you're proud of your perfect attendance.
We were talking about Hagazi and me joking around with Sharuk.
Yeah.
But I literally had to leave because I'm like, I can't deal with the stupidity. I couldn't deal with his ability to not understand.
No, I'm on board with you, and I can't speak too much on stuff. Mm-hmm. But I am there with you.
Right. Like
I've literally had to walk out of the office.
But what I'm meaning it by is you're on that spectrum too. I get tired of not being able to get you to understand.
What don't you get?
Right.
And when I break it down so it makes it look like I'm retarded,
and I do that
I'm on your level,
I do that for you a lot. And
no, hold on.
I try to get you to understand.
That's because you start from a point to where you think if you explain it the way that you know it.
The thing is, so my job isn't to understand whether you understand it or not. My job is to just say, this is how it should be done.
Right.
Get it done.
But you say it from a perspective of somebody that already knows.
Someone who should already know how to do it.
But I don't know.
But when I look at you.
When I'm drawing a hole in a wall.
So I want you to understand.
Without a thing that you only know the existence of, it's not my fucking problem.
So, but I want you to understand what I'm getting at, right? My whole thing is, because of the person I know you to be.
Yeah.
I think of you as competent. Right?
Hold on.
So
I am confident.
Because I think you're competent.
Stop saying it like that.
I expect you to be able to do what I say.
You're trying to look for the word knowledgeable.
No. Without having to explain it properly. I know it bothers you for me to say it.
Because competent's the wrong word.
No, competent is the exact word.
You're trying to say knowledgeable.
No. I want you to understand how well you can do it. Your competence.
I can do well if I know what it is.
Your competency is what I care about. Right? But I am assuming you were able to.
That's the word. You're just assuming things. So when you tell them to
understand, when I assume something about you, all that does is make an ass out of you, and it makes an ass out of me because I put too much confidence into you.
You're creating a false illusion in your mind.
Right. But like how I've explained to you how I build people up in my head.
I know. You're telling me that you're making me look like an enemy with your own opinions.
Well, no. How I see you.
I'm going to bite your phone in half.
No, how I see you as you're a beloved friend, right?
Okay.
You're someone who I can say.
Don't win me over with sweet words.
How I can say, hey, let's go lift that tree over there across the street. All right, let's do it.
That's some Neanderthal shit I'm in.
Right?
Right.
You understand that.
Right.
Right?
So then you give me a knowledge point.
But, right. I give you a understanding point.
And then when we go put picture frames up.
I'm like, okay, he's competent. He understands how to use his arms to pick something up.
Right.
And then when I hand you a drill and you're sitting there like, how do you use this? I'm like, has no one ever taught you how to use a drill?
I know how to use a drill. My mind was working and it wasn't working fast enough for you because we just recorded a podcast. We got off work. It's very late at night for me.
I'm fine with that. But that's not the first scenario, and you will know this. There's been other instances where I'm like, how do you not understand this?
What? Name another instance.
Punk, we literally just borderline said, like, with one time when you were using the computer and you asked me, how do I fix this? And then I told you how to fix it, and you're like, I still don't know how to do that. And
what? The printer?
Well, no, not just the printer, but that printer is garbage.
What was the other thing? The printer is a prime example of how I didn't do anything wrong. And you were mad at me until you diagnosed it.
No. You wanted that printer to do something it couldn't do.
That it should be able to do.
That it should be able to do, but it couldn't do.
All right, so the printer's
because
the
it's
enemy.
Garbage, right?
What was the other thing then?
There's been a couple, like, where I'll just tell you to do something and you won't understand.
Where's that muscle memory? The photographic memory.
So that's the problem.
Bring it up.
It's the...
Is it activated by keywords?
Sometimes.
You're a fucking sleeper agent.
It really...
Los Palos Hermanos.
Well, you know how my issue is with names, right? Like, I could know your name, but then when I'm trying to talk about you, I'll forget what your name is.
That's fucked up.
It doesn't ever come up with you.
My entire family does that. Uh-huh.
Right.
Yeah.
But it's like... So whenever I'm talking about... what was the name that we...
You're doing it right now.
Yeah.
Agnes.
Yeah. So when we're talking about Agnes, right? I'll forget.
See how fast I got you?
I'll forget what her name is, and then I'll explain who she is.
And then people will be like, oh, yeah.
This person's the blah, blah, blah.
Right.
And then they're like, oh, we know who that is. That's this person.
I didn't tell you, but I don't like her either.
Okay. Why?
She's adding to the list.
Gotcha.
I'll say it. She recently received a gift. Were you there? She recently received a gift card.
I gave it to her.
She came into the office this morning.
Yes.
And said to Penguin clan member and I.
Clan member.
Randy. And I. That was the first thing I could come up with. I don't know why.
Okay. He is.
Charlie Brown.
He is white.
That she did not appreciate the card. And I turned around. No, yeah. Let me start it off real quick. This has to be one of the last segments.
Okay.
So my mom was blowing up my phone. She's like, we gotta drive. And I'm
Gotcha.
like, fuck.
Yeah.
So she's like, I need to say something. She just comes in the office, by the way.
Yeah.
No knocking. The door's open. So, okay. This is 5:45 in the morning.
Right.
Okay? I want to make this very clear to everybody.
Why didn't she just tell me? I would have just threw the fucking card away then.
I would have snapped her neck. She didn't understand the situation, so I see why she was upset. It's the way she spoke to me and the group about it.
Gotcha.
First of all, she thinks I'm in charge of everything. I don't know I don't know.
Well,
that's not my job, motherfucker.
You also carry yourself as if you are in charge of everything, just so that you know.
That's my confident facade. But I really don't know anything.
But just so that you understand, you can't fault other people because of the way that you carry yourself.
That's fair. You're right. And you know I love the attention.
Right.
So it's fine.
So I start calling you Kyle.
Fucking cunts, all of them.
I love it because I
don't mind it that much. I mind it if there's something specific to Kyle going on. It doesn't have to be negative. I just mean if Bill talked to you about something and then he calls me Kyle 9 times when he's walking by and he gets a little pissy, I'm like, that's because my name's not Kyle. That's why I'm not answering you, dick.
Yeah, I talked with him about that.
Yeah.
And I thought it was hilarious. He was like, yeah, Thomas was not very happy about me calling him Kyle.
No, he did it 9 times.
And then I'm like,
shut the fuck up.
I'm like, I don't know why. He was just being a bitch. And then he started laughing. And then I was like, yeah, man, he's got some superiority complex going for himself. I was just talking shit about you.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
So Agnes comes in.
Gotcha.
And she goes, I need to say something with her fucking voice.
Loud.
Loud. But she's quiet all the other times.
Yep.
So I turn around a little and I don't really give her my full attention because there's other people in the room. And I actually think she's talking to Penguin at the time.
Right.
And I'm like, apple pie. And I'm like, yeah, what's up? Free country. I literally say this is America, free country. And so I go back to typing on my computer.
Yep.
You can say whatever you want. I don't care. So Agnes goes, I don't appreciate the gift card I received. I paused and I was like, oh yeah, why? What's wrong with it? And she was like, well, how come these people got $100 gift cards or a $50 gift card and I got a $10 gift or $15? How much was that?
I think 25, but I don't know actually.
We're going to say 15 just in case.
Okay.
Allegedly.
Because from what I was told, 25. But could have been
We'll say 25 then.
It could have been $5 for all I know.
Even then, we'll say 25 because now that makes me a little angrier.
Okay.
There's no gratefulness behind her eyes. So she's like, how come I only got 25? I feel like that's very disrespectful. And I feel like she starts going off. And I turn around, I lock eyes with Charlie Brown and Penguin. And I'm like, and then I look right at her and I was like, you don't appreciate receiving a gift card for the work that you did? For something that was gifted to you? I don't understand. See, I'm like, now she's got my attention, right?
Right.
Because she's going off. She's rambling.
Yeah.
And I'm like pausing, like waiting for her to answer. And she goes, well, yeah, it's discrimination. How come I didn't get anything? She's like 87 talking to me like this, right? And I was like, first of all, we don't have anything to do with that. Unfortunately, you will have to speak to...
How is it discrimination? There was the other person who won was also black. And then there was one...
I don't know
the
what she
other
was doing.
person was an Arabic dude, because 90% of the people who work for the company are Arabic.
It wasn't even like a race thing either. I don't know what it was, but it was like, you know, she felt like she was given the bad batch, right?
Yeah, the bare minimum.
The bare minimum. And I was like, first of all, I want to let you know, we don't have anything to do with that. And she goes, well, I'm still upset. And I was like, okay, so here's the deal. The gift cards you're talking about, whoever's gossiping to you or telling you anything, have nothing to do with what you specifically got a gift card for.
Right.
And she goes, well, that's what I heard. And I said, that doesn't matter. Like, I was getting mad. I was talking to her like an adult. I'm like, that doesn't matter what you heard. You did this. You did a good job. And you were given something that didn't have to be given to you and wasn't given to anyone else. What you're talking about, and Penguin... Right, and Penguin stepped in. Total. Nice. Penguin stepped in and goes, yeah, you're talking about for the fair these people got these cards for.
Right.
You know, like, I received one of those cards, right?
Yeah.
I didn't say that. But, like, Penguin's like, you know, there was a fair that you didn't go to, or you came late to, actually, you know, a few weeks ago that we held, where people won those cards. And she was like, well, I feel like I deserve more. And I'm like, bring that up with Arlen. Get out. I told her, I said, get out.
Mm-hmm.
She, over the last week, I don't know what's been going on, has come to me with complaints constantly. And as one of the people that deals with that stuff, that is your job. That does fall into my job. So I've been listening and kind of like contemplating with her. And it's mostly like she's been coming to me to tattle on people, which is fine. And I'll give her a listen because it's fair.
Technically... when one of our workers needs to snitch on another worker, technically you are the guy to go to.
That's right. And I gave her the benefit of the doubt. But a lot of
it's just petty shit.
A lot of it's, number one, petty shit that she doesn't understand, which I try to explain and she still doesn't get.
Gotcha.
And number two is the fact that she speaks with such...
disgust?
Like disgust.
Disdain?
I don't want to say volition. It's like something worse. Disdain is so good. Disdain is the word I'm looking for.
Okay. Because I don't see her as like truly with hatred, but...
No.
Like...
But with pettiness.
Yeah, there's got to be like, so, why wasn't this for me?
How ungrateful do you have to be to come in the morning and complain about something you received? You know what I mean? Like...
Right, because... I want you to understand.
Yeah.
When I handed her the gift card, I specifically explained to her
what she did
to earn this gift card.
Right. Great job.
And I told her that. I was like, hey, I want you to understand it's my job to look at all of this stuff.
Right.
I want to reward you for doing such a great job. You're literally number one at our company. For this specific thing.
Great job.
Great job. Here's a gift card that my boss gave me to give to you.
Boom.
And those were like the words that I said.
Right.
So like to hear that she came the very next day saying, why didn't I give her more than that? She literally asked me how much was on it. And I told her, I was like, anywhere between $25 to $50. I have no idea, to be honest.
And who did she talk to within that day to hear about these $100 gift cards going around from weeks ago?
Right.
For things that were not related to what the fuck she won.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Technically speaking, just so this be known on the podcast, she did not win a gift card. I gave her that gift card. She won.
Okay. So she didn't even win. She was just so happened to be. Right.
No. She came in first place. First place prize sucked ass, and I didn't like it.
Oh, yeah. You did the thing.
So I swapped the prizes.
You're right. Yeah.
So what happened was... she was supposed to get, so there's a thing at our job that if you come late, you get points. You get too many points, they fire you for it. She just so happened to have like 3 points. I don't know if I'm allowed to talk about like this specific stuff.
That's probably fine.
But it's nothing crazy. We never gave any names, but whatever.
Agnes.
Yeah. She had 3 points. She was going to get 1 point off, only have 2 points. That's cool because it takes, so for you to get 1 point off, you have to come to work for 1 month straight without coming late.
It's 3 months.
No, it's 1 month.
Okay.
At least that, unless Rima changed it, because 3 months is fucking wild.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
No, I just thought you'd like that.
Yeah. Gotcha.
Kyle, it's so fucking hot in here.
I know.
No, it's like really bad. I'm bleeding through the shirt.
I know.
I moved like this, and it's like a river is washing over me.
I actually, I'm
getting baptized right now.
So just so that you know, I've gotten to the point where like I'm hot, but it's like simmering down because I'm used to the hot now.
I don't give a fuck. I'm dying.
So my body's like displacing all the heat.
If I wasn't wearing this bandana, I'd be sweating all over my face.
Oh yeah, for sure. But like, you know, I'm good. That's warm. Oh,
That's moist.
that's moist. but yeah, we can pretty much close. But I just want to say that's fucking crazy, and I hate to use your fucking thing because in my head that would have pissed me off if she had came to me and said that.
Could you imagine?
Because I'm like,
I bet if she came down 15 minutes later when you clocked in, that would have been
right.
yeah.
Because I would have told her, I'm like, in reality, you weren't supposed to get a gift card at all. I made sure you got a gift card because
Right.
I felt bad that everybody else was going to get one and you wouldn't have.
And you would get something that you probably don't want.
Yeah.
Right.
That's what I felt. I would have felt like, well, she saw this person get some money. She saw this person get some money. She got a point off, but I don't think she cared about the point. Especially because she's one of the only workers who barely have any points.
Right.
Like, to be honest, the other person, there was like 2 other people, right?
Yeah.
If the 3rd place winner got the point off, it would have been God's gift for him because I know he's got like 20 points.
Right.
You know? So it's just one of those like, oh well things.
It's just one of those days.
Right. But like, damn, like I threw her a bone and she just decided to spit on you guys?
Yeah.
Like she didn't spit on me specifically, but now that you've told me that, I feel like it is.
Oh, yeah. No, it's a spit in the face.
It's like a damn moment. But that's fine. If you want to call it here, because I know you got to go on your vacation. You got like a 6-hour long drive.
7.
7?
Now that I'm looking at it, yeah.
And it's already 11? Damn, you got a long way to go, buddy.
Yeah, buddy.
First and foremost, let us know how that goes, because, you know, we'd love to hear it on the podcast.
If I make it back.
If he makes it back, because he's planning on dying in the woods.
It'd be the way to go.
If he does die, we must figure out if we're going to continue the podcast with someone else or if I just let this podcast die.
What the fuck?
What?
You can't talk about replacing me while I'm still here.
Why not?
Gilbert.
Okay. If Gilbert is who you would want replaced other than any of our close friends, I would do it. I feel like Gilbert would have good stories.
Yeah. I'm trying to think if there's like another...
I don't know because all of my friends, our friends, are kind of shut-in neats.
Yeah.
So the only time they go out to do stuff is if I force them to. So
yeah,
it's one of those like, maybe Gilbert is a good choice.
Yeah, I don't have any friends that you know that would fill in well.
Maybe I would meet them for your funeral.
I try not to be friends with people who are as charismatic as me because I like all the attention.
I feel like you're
up there, and it really makes me angry.
Right.
Because when we're together, our energies are hitting one person at the same time.
Right.
And since you're taller than me, they go to you.
Sometimes I outshine you.
They
really
look at
hard.
you. Yeah. I'm like, God damn it, look at me.
And I understand that. I think your friends, I wouldn't like any of them.
Yeah, you'd only like John.
Oh, I love John.
Right.
John's
he's
cool.
not. I don't think he'd be good on podcasts.
And
I say that respectfully.
I think he would get stale.
Respectfully stale.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, I know we get stale sometimes, but we turn it around.
We turn it around.
Right?
Give us 5 minutes.
Yeah.
We're golden.
Like me talking about being a retard. That was funny for the most part, but there was some stale parts in there, and I know it was. But fuck it. That's still funny.
Yeah.
Especially when we did the rebellion bullshit.
Oh, yeah. We're in.
Yeah, see? Memorize the word.
Good job, Kyle.
Thank you. I'll never forget it.
You've been very bright this podcast.
What do you mean?
This episode. I just feel like you have been very smart.
Fuck you. I don't know what that means.
I say it.
I had to explain my retardness for you to understand my smartness.
There it is.
Okay. Sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
And now I'll be even more fully offended when you tell me about stuff or whatever, like I'm supposed to know what it is.
Right. Well, okay.
You get it?
I'm perfectly fine with you slamming the backpack on the table.
The one time.
Both times. So you know.
It didn't happen.
It happened twice. It did. Anyways, we're going to call it here. Thank you guys for tuning in. If you enjoyed any of this, leave that like, leave that follow. Other than that...
You think the closer's gonna save you? I'm gonna punch you in the fucking face. That's what I'm gonna do. You think you could just jump right into the conclusion of the episode?
Anyways, hit us up on our email at unapologeticvoices1@gmail.com. And as well... If you have any stories, send them out to us because we're planning to start reading off a bunch of stories.
Yes, get involved.
We already have a few of them lined up. We're not reading any of them this time because our month is so fucking busy. He's going on vacation literally today. I'm going on vacation at the end of this month. So we're just trying to like figure it out this month. But next month we'll probably figure the whole story situation. But for the people who have been sending us emails, some of your stories, beautiful. Some of the other stories...
Not podcast worthy.
Some of the other stories, kind of iffy. But we're unapologetic.
Mostly sexual.
We'll throw them out there. Fuck it.
If we get desperate.
But yeah.
Which we are. Please donate.
Once again, I'm Kyle-Elio Torres, accompanied by...
Thomas Tripp.
Thomas Tripp.
Don't speak for me, bitch. Thomas Tripp.
Thomas Tripp. Oh, before I forget, I made him his own custom theme song for when he enters our Discord.
It's pretty awesome, but we unfortunately can't play it right now.
Yeah, unfortunately, I cannot play it for you guys.
Rip it up.
Let me just get it.
I wonder if those 3 seconds could be copyright worthy. Because isn't there a rule, or there was an old thing on YouTube where like you could have 6 seconds of a song or something.
So
you know what I mean?
It's 30 seconds. So technically, me doing that is perfectly fine.
Play it.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, for the outro.
Yeah, fuck it. I'll look it up.
It's 3 seconds long and it's short. It's just fun.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, instantly joined the Discord?
Ooh, fast.
Crunch is in there? And Kawasaki.
What are we doing? Are you fucking...
No. I'm just gonna go...
Yeah, go to the soundboard.
I'm gonna go to the soundboard. I gotta put it on speaker.
There it is. We're getting there.
Turn up my volume all the way.
Thomas Tripp.
All right, this is Thomas's opening song when he enters my Discord.
Thomas! Gays make me angry. What a fucking legendary opening.
Yeah.
I feel the curtains opening every time I walk into this Discord stage.
It took me like 15 minutes to make it.
That's the best 15 minutes of your life right there.
I spent like 10 minutes looking between all of our clips to find one time where you said Thomas like a retard.
Yeah.
And then
Thomas!
And then you said gays make me angry.
Awesome.
I was like, this is perfect.
It is perfect, yeah.
But yeah, I've been doing that lately where I just fucking make little theme songs for people.
They're really impressive. They really are.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
And I try to tailor them to the person.
Yeah.
So
I appreciate the Star Wars Imperial March song.
Right.
Yeah, I really appreciate it.
I thought I went through like 7 different like Star Wars songs and I'm like, none of this says Thomas to me. I need the walk-in badass.
I appreciate that.
You know?
Yeah.
I wanted it to be longer, but because of the restrictions that it has,
right.
It was only allowed to be 4 seconds, and it's 4.99.
Yeah.
So it's not.
I will say though, that's like really, it's kind of perfect.
Right, but at the beginning, like it used to be longer. Like
like it was 6 seconds, we'll say.
Dude,
and you had to break it down.
It used to be 8 seconds.
Ooh.
Yeah.
8 seconds of uncut raw.
There was a beginning where like it goes hard at the very start and then it starts to get to that quiet part, right? And then you hear the Thomas and then gays make me angry. And then it gets all hard.
I don't sound like that. Why did you just do that? Gays make me angry? Don't talk like that.
That's how I hear your voice.
Don't touch me. I'm too hot right now. I'm sweating like a motherfucker.
Well, I could turn on the air conditioner and we could chill for a moment.
That would be nice.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
But all right, let's.
Just kidding. I'm heading the fuck out of here.
Okay, fair enough.
All right. Thanks for joining us, party people.
Yep.
Have a great day.
Oh yeah, we're
Or
out for the night.
night. I don't know what fucking time you're listening to this.
What time is it?
You know what? Listen to our podcast during sex.
That would be interesting
Wouldn't it?
to like.
How many times do you bust or none if you're listening to our voices?
Like they would be listening to me talk about how I was a retard and then trying to spell rebellion.
Yeah. And they're like, oh, I'm close. Right when he says lion, I'm going to go.
He said lion.
Once he finishes. All right. Cut it.
Okay. Peace out, guys. Check out what was it? The email.
What the fuck are you saying right now?
Check out the email and then give us that like, give us that follow. Oh, and if you haven't done it, share this with someone else because we have a lot of listeners from what we can tell, but we don't have a lot of followers yet. So we know you guys are listening, but you're not following, and that's okay. But we want you to.
You better follow us.
Thank you. Bye.
Or we'll follow you home.
Will we?
Oh, yeah.
I'll do it.